you got to say. My heart is on display, but I'm not afraid. Yeah, I'm not afraid. Why you been getting busy? I've been getting dizzy, trying not to keep you in mind. Now all the dirty thighs and suddenly enticing since you came back in my life. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Collegiate Star League Grand Finals weekend here at Austin, Texas, here at the Austin Convention Center. As a reminder to everybody, we are on the 4th floor for those that are watching on stream and planning on coming, or if you're around the venue just tuning in, head on up. We have a lot of cool stuff going on right now in the area. If you guys are a fan of virtual reality gear, that's kind of the new hot thing right now. Asus is doing a lot of cool demos. We'll have a couple of stations set up, so if you're looking, get your virtual game on, this would be the place to do it, as well as also we have some Rocket League action, some Overwatch, so if you're looking for a little bit of variety, we can deliver. Now, before we head into the StarCraft 2 finals, our wonderful, wonderful interviews are about to go up for you guys to watch. So get to know UC Berkeley a little bit better before they make their 4th title run, and as well Temple for their 1st. When we come back, after the interviews, we'll have Rifkin and Zombie Grip.
Hey everyone, I'm here at DreamHack Austin with UC Berkeley, and can you just go down and introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Alan. My ID is Sakurachio, and I play Terran. I'm a low diamond Terran. It's my 10 bonus pool. You need 200 to get into Grandmasters, so I'm basically there, because Diamond is basically Masters, and Master is basically GM, and I'm basically better than Conan at this point.
Alright, I'm Nick. ID is Silky, and I think I'm GM. I might have dropped out.
I'm Houston. I'm the team coordinator, and my ID is Houston. And I'm a dynamo player because I'm not as professional as these people.
You guys know who I am. I'm Suppy. My name's Conan, and yeah, it's gonna be my last year playing CSL, so I'm excited.
I'm Jono, ID Polar Bear Me, and I'm top masters 4v4 random.
You play all 4 accounts? I'm Vincent. My ID is Bubba Gump. I'm Protoss, so I masters because I'm Protoss.
My name is Fred. My ID is Udi, and I played Protoss to get to masters, but now I'm Terran now because I got a new mouse, you know.
I'm Kevin. My ID is Goki. I'm a GM Terran.
Someone has to
Legit.
serious.
So you guys won a free trip here to play in our Collegiate Star League StarCraft 2 Championship. How does it feel?
Feels good, man. Feels good, man.
How do you feel, Conan? And since you're like, this is gonna be your last CSL, your last year. I don't know if, are there other seniors here also, or is it just you?
Yes.
Yeah, so how do you guys feel? You guys are like a legacy.
It's cool because we played in the Zubu Collegiate Star League several seasons ago, and we played together.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like a repeat. So we're hoping to bring back more titles for Berkeley. I'm very proud of our school, so we're very excited.
Come a long way since those days.
Nice. You've had a near flawless season, but you did have a rough start in the beginning. So what exactly happened there? And what'd you do to change it?
So I think the main problem is everyone overslept. And we had to put in like half the matches.
Some people got locked out of their room.
That was me.
Yeah.
A few times.
Oh yeah, and then there's that one time where like half the people couldn't like boot into StarCraft.
Oh yeah.
That's like
Yeah, there's like some patch going on.
For tomorrow, you guys are going up against Temple University, in case you didn't know, but now you know. So how do you feel going up against a new but really dominant StarCraft 2 team?
They're a really strong team. I think we can't underestimate them. I think we're still favored and we feel confident, but I know they're very confident as well, so hopefully we can crush their dreams tomorrow.
Berkeley's strength has always been in the depth of its roster. That we have like Conan, who's really strong, and then like a bunch of other like also super strong players. So like we kind of matched them head on for that. So we haven't beaten that aspect at least, I think. So we have a pretty good chance, and we're pretty confident going in.
We also have really cool shirts.
Yeah, and we have matching t-shirts.
I already got like one win because of the shirts.
Yeah.
OP.
We're a little nervous though. We heard that their 2v2 team is really strong. So, like they've got camo jerseys and everything.
Oh, that's too much.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I remember I was really nervous because I read their interview and they said they had only one person who was below low masters. So I got a match for myself.
So aside from your championship game tomorrow at DreamHack, what else are you guys excited to do around here? Do at DreamHack?
Fangirls.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna follow Suppy around.
I think we're the fangirls actually.
Yeah.
Any final comments or shout outs?
Shout out to ASUS for sponsoring CSL. Shout out to CSL for sponsoring us to come here.
Shout out to Chancellor Dirks.
Shout out to Houston for being a coordinator.
Yeah.
Shout out to DSAB for helping us get here.
Yeah, big
for
one.
sure, for sure. Yeah. Shout out to Blizzard for patching the game.
Patching the game.
We'll show good games.
Thank you guys and good luck tomorrow.
All right, welcome Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed that wonderful interview from UC Berkeley. Again, going for their 4th title run. Some of those players have been here from the start, so it's going to be an incredible feat if they end up doing that. Now, we have one more interview, but before we start, I want to give a big shout out to Brain Gear. Energize your brain. Get those B vitamins in. You know what to do. Head over to braingear.gg and you guys can use the discount code CSL Finals to get a % off of your Brain Gear products. Wonderful stuff. On top of that, want to give a big thank you to Asus for their support of the CSL all season long. All our gear today, monitors, desktops, RV and virtual reality, everything that we have is actually all Asus. So always a lot of love from them for supporting collegiate esports, and as well, we love them back. And finally, of course, if you're watching us on stream, you definitely know about Twitch TV, the leading stream provider in esports, and probably the world too as well, for the most part. So we always thank them for helping us and supporting esports, and as well, the love goes back to them as well. Now, we have one more interview. That is Temple University, first timers in the CSL Finals. So let's find out about these newcomers in just a moment.
Hey guys, I'm here at DreamHack Austin with Temple University. So can you just go down the line and introduce yourselves?
I'm Jay, my in-game name is Raze, and I play Terran.
I'm Taylor, my in-game name is Heartbeat, and I play Zerg.
I'm Robbie, my in-game name is Tesla, and I play Protoss.
I'm Albert, my in-game name is Eclipse, and I play Terran.
My name is Tony, in-game name is Sam Crow, and I play Terran.
My name is Yucho, and in-game name is Cento, and I play Terran as well.
Awesome. So first question is, you guys are here at finals at DreamHack. You got a free trip and you're competing to play an amazing live game. How does it feel?
Feels amazing. Like nobody was really expecting we can make it this far.
I feel like StarCraft is alive.
Totally alive.
I'm really excited, actually. I'm really
I'm
excited to go to DreamHack, because I've never even been to a DreamHack before, so I don't think any of us have.
Yeah, it's great.
Feels great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so looking back on your regular season, you guys were 4-3, but you're still here at StarCraft 2 Finals. So what happened there, and how did you get here?
I didn't wake up for some of those matches, so...
Yeah, in general we had like some team cohesion issues where like Rob had a terrible
It was mostly me, everybody else showed
couldn't
up.
wake him up.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, and there was like the one match we had that was like during spring break, and it was just impossible to organize everyone because like no one had any idea really what was going on.
Yeah, I'll sleep through anything.
Yeah, we've seen that.
I'll sleep through a nuclear war.
Do this.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you guys are going up against UC Berkeley. They're a collegiate StarCraft 2 Titan. You know about Seppi and like their semi-pro players. And yeah, they won the CSL title like 3 times. So how does it feel going up against them tomorrow, especially since you guys are really new?
Hope we can end this.
Streak.
Yeah.
End this streak.
Knock them off their throne.
I think they're really old, so they'll be really easy to take out. This is their last time in this.
If Suppy was playing at like his peak from I don't know like year or two ago, then things would be a lot different. But as it is, like he is focusing a lot on school, so not at the same level. So I think even though he's got a lot more name recognition, we can compete with him.
Nice. Aside from your finals tomorrow at DreamHack, what else you guys plan on doing here in Austin? What else are you excited for?
Definitely explore the city. Pretty interested in the nightlife that's going on here.
Ooh, I'm excited for that too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any final comments or shout outs?
Shout out to Greg. He knows.
He knows.
No, for real. Shout out to Greg.
Yeah, shout out to Greg.
Love you, Greg.
Definitely. I like
Shout
that.
out to my friend Robert and Firefly.
Shout out to CSL and Asus for making this possible. It's an amazing opportunity. Not something I exactly expected going into this, but it's
Yeah, shout out to all the sponsors for still supporting StarCraft.
Yeah.
So I think, are we live now then? Did I do that right? Do we press the right set of buttons?
I don't know.
Okay, well apparently we're live, so hi everybody!
Hello!
Welcome to the CSL Finals, live here at DreamHack. Should be some pretty good times. We're currently in the lobby for the first game, almost good to go. First match gonna be Goku versus Tesla?
I guess
How you feeling about this, Amigo?
I'm not sure actually. I think Berkeley is actually a pretty, like, I don't know about favorite, but they've certainly been a scary. And of course they have their heavy hitter in Suppy, so like, I don't know about this particular match, but as far as the overall series will go, I'm actually going to guess a 4-2 for Berkeley.
Okay. Just make sure we press all these buttons right, guys. Sorry, we got a very last minute walkthrough, making sure I haven't broken anything in the process of doing things, but looks like first match to be frozen. Straight up. Old overlay for us. I hope it looks good for the stream at least. But I guess we'll get right into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the CSL Finals live here at DreamHack, spawning at the top left side, we've got Team Temple University's Tesla.
In the bottom right, as the red Terran, it is Goki for UC Berkeley.
set my camera on follow because I kind of forgot to do that. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I had the week off of casting before we got here, actually.
Yeah, we've been staying in an Airbnb as we attended a friend's wedding and then came over here. So we're actually kind of out of practice.
Yeah, so you mentioned before Berkeley looking pretty good. I actually had the pleasure of meeting pretty much the entire Berkeley team earlier. They were kind of cheering on Suppy, I guess, for the open brackets or whatever the group stage 1 was called. So Berkeley, I think I'm going to agree just on merits of meeting the friendly faces are going to be my favorites for this.
Okay.
But Temple showed some pretty good games, especially when we came to the semifinals. We had some like villains rise, but some heroes rise. But overall, pretty cool games, I gotta say.
Yeah, you know, it's not only been a while since we've cast in general, but it's actually been even longer since we cast the CSL specifically. And I do want to remind you, as we see a proxy going down, that the format of the CSL is very different than your usual best of 7. It's you know, it's like Pro League. You have a team, a bunch of members, but we do have a 2v2 and an Archon mode match set up for game 3 and 4. Just to remember that.
Oh yeah, I forgot the different setup for that. Yeah. All right, well, we got some minor harass, nothing too crazy, but I am really interested in that pylon that was placed down, and if that's going to result in anything else right now, or if that's an investment for later. Just kind of waiting to see what he wants to throw down with this. I guess one of the things we got to worry about, we've seen a lot of weird proxy robos come out of pro play. Obviously the CSL is kind of in its own wonderful world, but once that Cybercore completes, we'll have a good idea of just what direction he wants to take this. He did take both gases after all.
Yeah, so he was just waiting for his 7 expert to finish up. There goes the Stargates.
Alright, so one of the nice things about this too is with the rocks blocking, it's really hard for the Terran player to actually go ahead and scout this. And a lot of the times too, you're not really looking to move anything outside the main as a Terran too early. So what we have is a nice opening that's going to lead to an Oracle not automatically winning the game. But we are going to be in a bit of a funny situation where the SCV is only just now scouting to see, hey, wait, what's up? And then this happens.
Okay, that's interesting. I think it's more important to note that, of course, the scouting has been going on very consistently for our Terran player here. He's actually been scouting since the very beginning. They did go for an early CC, which makes sense to play a little bit safe. So seeing those gases, seeing like there's no Nexus even still, you definitely know there's a proxy, and chances are it's going to be a proxy Stargate, although there have been a couple of robos.
Yeah, the robo's really powerful because it's new and people aren't used to it, but the Stargate's like it's old, tried, tested, and true.
Yeah.
Regardless of this, Oracle is probably not destined to do too much, however. One things it really could do is help this attempt make sure it takes control of the wall, and if the follow-up of this is going to be something through gateways, this could be a lot more dangerous. But with the 3 barracks worth of production, yeah, there's already 6 Marines in the mineral line, that Oracle doesn't stand a chance.
No, it does not. So, unfortunately, that was that 1 base Oracle. Like, this is actually pretty dedicated. If it did absolutely nothing, which it seems like it's destined to do, it is quite bad for Protoss. I mean, you just had one of the latest Nexus. Oh, that's actually a good move.
Really nicely done.
Definite mistake from our Terran player. He obviously wanted the wall up, but
I love that Tesla didn't go straight to a mineral line. I think he knew with the relentless SCV scouting, he had a good idea there wasn't going to be a chance that, he doesn't see me coming. Like, he knew one of those bases would be prepared. Going for the front with the Adept, he at least knew the wall was vulnerable, took advantage of the SCVs. Good moves. And we have follow-up with this too. Nexus is finishing up. Robo's on the way. Everything for our blue Protoss is looking pretty dandy.
So it did end up taking the mining off of the natural, but it's 8 workers, I think is actually like exactly what you would kind of want from a proxy. As you watch my screen, it's better than the laptop here.
Well, I actually cannot hear you if I'm sitting over here, so I gotta get close. I'm sorry.
Anyways, I was gonna say that it was unfortunately Goki's mistake right there. If you don't have 6 Marines with both mineral lines, there's actually not much harm in just not saturating that natural base until you do have 6 Marines or missile turrets. So unfortunately, they did lose the SCVs. It seems like a small mistake, but it actually made Tesla's opener effective when it looked like it was going to do absolutely nothing.
So I was thinking on this too, just on the back end, because I kind of forgotten Goki, by the way, was one of the Archon heroes from the regular season.
Let's see.
Yeah, I just remember him constantly coming back with the Terran for the Archon mode match. So just take a quick look at the roster, see him coming back for this too. So let's say things go terribly here. There's a chance for him to redeem himself a little bit later on. But for Tesla, I mean, I would say the control, I'd say the flow of the game is definitely favoring him right now. With Goki having later tech labs, later reactors, like, he's not got the fastest stim timing. He's got it on the way, that's good. +1 starts up, he's doing things right. But timing's not there for him to push out. Timing's not there to hurt. He's got to play defense now with the Warp Prism coming to the main.
Well, it does drop into a bunch of Marines, so that's not gonna work. Okay, it's nice to be SCV.
You know what? This is actually pretty bad. Delaying that factory delays the Stargate or Starport, which means you're not gonna have Medivacs, no Liberators. I mean, this gets rougher and rougher for our Terran player.
Now, it is a situation where Stint is actually so far off from being done that you don't really want to push out without both. You know, you're not gonna have Stint, you don't want to push out. You don't have Medivacs, you don't really want to push out. Unless you're going for some of these timings we've been seeing, but obviously that didn't happen here. The Adept harass is actually it's actually being really good, especially without that stim.
I like this pickup control too.
Yeah, it's actually really good play from Tesla. I'm kind of feeling it. So despite Goki's intention to open up greedy, it really feels like that Oracle just it threw him off. Now the game is still not over. Obviously, we actually have Tesla going for disruptors right now.
Yeah.
I would really hope that open for disruptor drops. Unfortunately, there are only like a few Protosses who can make them work against Terran, especially if the Terran can split, can scan ahead and split.
Oh, look at it. Constantly denying buildings at that last second. The turret gets finished, but still annoying nonetheless. I think the worst feeling for this, though, as a Terran is like you've got these units, you know you can fight this, but catching that Warp Prism is such a pain. And we haven't even seen the Adept Shades go up. This has just been the Warp Prism.
Yeah. So while the harass was really good, and is still being actually very effective for Tesla, I am a little worried as to his economic situation. Casting hurts, my bad. Nice pickup. He's actually being up.
I almost want to just let this die and build a new one at this point. I mean, that's so dangerous.
I actually don't know if that can get out anymore, so I guess I should stay there. But anyways, I was going to say, Tesla doesn't have a third base either. He's actually it's kind of funny. They're playing, or rather the Protoss is playing more like a Heart of the Swarm Protoss. It's not Colossus this time with that Robotics Bay. It's a Disruptor, the Robotics Bay. But usually at this time in Legacy of the Void, you actually see a third base even finished if you know, at certain plays. This, of course, was that Stargate proxy, so that wouldn't have happened. But still, like, on the way at the very least. He's really just now putting it down. And they won't have, like, a super big burst of Adepts that really usually shocks the Terran into running home. And to cover those Disruptors, which, you know, if there's only like 3 Disruptors and 7 Adepts, those actually can be split and focus fired.
Warp Prism finally gets picked off. Nicely done for Goki as he can take a sigh of relief. He still has to deal with the Adepts, of course, but this will be much easier without the Warp Prism. Now, I guess we look at the overall supplies for both players. This really doesn't look too terrible. Again, Tesla's got less army, but he's got more punch in that army. So every single like disruptor shot could be game ending, depending on how good or bad it is.
I haven't even like been watching his composition, to be honest. So it's funny, in Pros vs. Protoss, it's definitely Blinkstalker Disruptor, but the reason for that is that Blinkstalker's the only thing that's able to like, you know, maneuver around your opponent's disruptors, really.
Well, okay, so here's what I kind of think he's thinking. That there'll be pickups. You'll send the disruptor shots out and they'll pick up in the Medivacs run away. That's when you pounce with the Blinkstalkers.
Unfortunately, they are not Blink, so at this point, he is just hoping that Goki's just basically not the best at disruptors, and that's certainly true. And we're casting with pro games, that's why I referenced, you know, so it's like Pult, like splitting, right? But these guys, you know, like they've certainly worked hard and hope they're prepared for this tournament, but they're not pros. They're obviously in college. That's the whole reason they're here.
Yeah.
So, like, the splitting could actually be a huge weakness for Goki. I know that certainly, because it's not just about splitting, it's about map awareness too, like not getting surprised by the disruptors, because you can't actually run away from them.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but if you got sim running, you're still slower than the Purification Nova. It's really frustrating. We got a shot looking to hit. It's pretty decent. Liberator finally comes into play. This can help zone out that ramp. So again, this is where those Blink Stalkers come into play. If you're not going something with Stargate, you need to deal with those Liberators. They are the thing that are breaking this matchup and making everybody post balance complaints for sure.
Yeah. I was going to say I'm a little worried he doesn't have a third base yet, but Goki is transferring it over right now, so that should be okay for 2-star 4 production. I gotta say though, I think if he went harder in the bio play, he actually might have been able to win, honestly. Against Blinkstalker Disruptor, especially if any of his shots do not hit, it is a very fragile army against bio. That's the reason Blinkstalker, you know, kind of faded away. So, unfortunately, he is going for this Liberator play, which, you're right, like considered like super stupidly strong, and everyone likes to get there, but I feel like it's also this opportunity.
I just want to note too, the upgrades actually keeping on par. A lot of the time we see this happen, and you know, Protoss has either gotten 3 and 1, and Terran's stuck on 1-1, or vice versa. But these have been surprisingly close techs while this has been going on. Now armor's lacking a little bit, but that's an interesting placer for the Templar Archives. That's where I got slapped down. Now we do have a drop, but that's going to be destroyed before it has a chance to impact. But I gotta say, I really like a lot of what's going on. The thought for the Templar Archives, recognizing charge slots plus Archons to be good compositional units to have. I mean, hell, even for Goki's, moving for the Fusion Core, we're going to see Liberator range come into play. They're all playing the late game macro, and it's not so much about that harassment anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Tesla had that really, really good early game harassment. Goki, unfortunately, has just been the receiving side. And after seeing those disruptors, he actually is shying away. He's also trying to get the Liberators, which, you know, makes sense. You don't want to move out with a big army, lose it, and then only have Liberators. But still, of course, he wanted to do more pressure with that drop that got denied so easily. That's pretty unfortunate, because that's also your scouting. I don't think he has a Marine. Yeah, he doesn't have a Marine over here. But he's still going to go ahead and try and deny Tesla's attempt at a 4th base.
Yeah, the force not so important right now. This Liberator is setting up in a really nice position. Soccer's going to try and get on this before the Marauders arrive, but a little bit late. Disruptors helping complement this. You can't blink underneath Disruptors if there's Marauders waiting for you.
Yeah, and then it's us for a bad time. One arc already went down, unfortunately, as it was forming. It looks kind of silly. The other one can definitely soak a lot of hits, but not from that Liberator. That still goes down pretty quickly. The upgrades are pretty close to finishing for Tesla, too. It was a good point. Like, this bio is actually very, very good, and actually walks into the liberating zone so that he can blink out, but it's still, like, you're going to get tagged by a couple Marauders, and that could be good times. The disruptor shots, I think there's 4 of them. Actually, no, they're down to 2. Oh, wow, I thought he had more. So down to 2 actually means that he does not have, you know, that type of effect where it's like another disruptor shot, another disruptor shot. He actually is going to run out of shots, and without that splash, I'm not really sure you can take on this army.
Well, Goki's managed to jump on this base pretty damn nicely. I mean, right now for Tesla, it's like, what is the real answer? Disruptor's looking for good hits, and that's going to be one of those answers you're looking for. But I feel like taking down that 3rd was already more than enough damage. Now, I know you guys can't see this on the camera, but we've got the Berkeley team here. They're getting quite a rowdy, super cheering for their teammate here.
Yeah, I guess so. So that, as you said, I actually agree very much. That
now, this is... What do you think about this at this point? Can Liberators save them? Can Liberators do what they need to do to bring... Or sorry, Disruptors do what they can to bring this back? Yeah, no, Goki's already doing well with Liberators.
The Disruptors, not so much. I mean, actually, Goki has had some pretty impressive splits. I mean, you know, once or twice, it's understandable that you're just going to mess up. But otherwise, it's actually been pretty good. As you see, it's right here. It's a very heavy Marauder army, by the way. So, of course, you still get one shot. But when it comes down to, like, those last hits that sometimes you can get on those Marines, it's not really happening with the Blink Stalkers. I do want to note that the medevac count, as we have been seeing throughout all of StarCraft 2, pros, casuals, doesn't really matter, it's low. When you try and go for this Liberator style, sometimes you do fear to make medevacs, and that has actually been a very small issue for Goki as he continues to stim his Marauders.
It's unfortunate that there's been so much emphasis on the Archons as well. A couple of storms here really helped change a lot of these fights, but you know, the necessity for those Archons was understandable.
Yeah, it's kind of an emergency deal. He does have 2 High Templars now. Unfortunately, that's, you know, that's not really not for the storms. They're not going to be able to be scattered around the area either.
You know, we're kind of getting to that point too with the medevac count, out of energy / low. If those start going down, that bio can't keep stimming. We've seen it happen all too many times before.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we do have Tesla out of position here, as he did kind of almost like a hidden quote-unquote base to the bottom left. That was actually fairly well timed with that 3rd going down, but unfortunately loses his 3rd once again.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to set up for another one too, but I mean, it's at this point, it doesn't really matter. Goki's have so much supply. Unless there's like some amazing storms that you catch a lot of medevacs that are fully loaded, Tesla is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I do wish he would get more storms.
I think it's pretty important too. We don't see Goki just rushing in here. Like, if he just aim with everything he has, he could lose his army. That's the power of these Disruptors. So it is a bit of a slower and steadier play, but he's systematically picking them off. Only like 1 shot now as cooldown goes on.
It's 6 Disruptors now with this one coming out, so that is just continual Disruptor shots. He actually should be very, very comfortable. In fact, I would actually say don't even continue to pressure at this point. I don't know if he's seen how many Disruptors there are to be continuous, but Liberators will help take care of that as well. You get up to like 7 or 8 Liberators, and as long as Marauders, you know, protect you from the blink, but he actually goes in with a bit of a concave here from his reinforcements, realizes that was a bit of a mistake, tries to run away. Most of his army is dead and gone. The Blink Stalkers should be able to clean everything else up.
I want to point out that supply evening out now. We're at least getting close to it. Some really good storms mixed in there too to push back the Marauders. At this point too, we see a lot of Liberators being made, and that's good. Cool, we got Liberator upgrades, awesome. But if he can't deal with these units properly, Goki's gonna have to start thinking about Ghosts or something else, because right now Marauders, while they take out the Disruptors, so forget what I was saying, the focus fire is so good. He's not taking any of these hits. He picks up the fly away. It's a little bit dangerous, but he got such a good trade out of that army.
That was so dangerous. I thought for sure that zone shot was coming off. But that was actually pretty good from Goki. So as you said, the supplies are really evened up here. I mean, there's like a 40 or 50 supply difference. You mentioned Ghost. I didn't really think that was necessary, to be honest, but he is going to go for a Ghost Academy. I mean, eventually you want to get to like that perfect Terran composition. I mean, it's not really a case where he has like a ton of money to fall back on. They are starting to mine out of your mains and naturals, and even thirds.
Yeah, I mean, Goki, oh, this is a nice spot out of Tesla to try and get this, but Goki did have a lead for a while where his opponent's third was knocked down. The fact that Tesla finally got the third base going, the fact that he's got something mining, really gave him the power to start coming back in this. These Blink Stalkers not being dealt with either. This is getting really scary.
Well, everything is now disjointed for Goki. Before, the Marauders were protecting the Liberators and kind of vice versa as they moved into those Disruptors. Once he leaves those Liberators alone, it is totally worth for Tesla to lose like 1 or 2 Stalkers, or in ideal cases, no Stalkers, to take out a lot of Liberators. I mean, he's had pretty consistent Liberator production, still only at 3 medevacs, yet he's only at 1 right now. I mean, how many have lost?
Did you press the wrong buttons?
I have definitely. It's been so long. What is it?
So, what?
Units lost? What is units lost?
Oh, it's shifted on GameHeart. I actually have no idea what it is in the default UI.
I guess because it's not GameHeart.
It's been so long since we've been carried by GameHeart for too long in our careers.
Never mind, I don't know how many died.
Okay, well, that awkward point being said, hopefully they're able to show it on stream and just have our awkward ignorance show through. +2 weapons. The smiley face out of our observer. Shout out to Cheesehead Logic. +2 weapons for the air, still finishing up. There's really not that many Liberators to benefit from this, but they do get massive jumps. You want them doing like 100 damage per shot if you can get them up to that number.
Well, this has been a pretty topsy-turvy game. Really thought Goki had it for quite some time, and it is back to the situation. I mean, he's still up 30 supply, all right? That's pretty good, with really good upgrades as well. But, another fight like that disastrous one with an attempted concave, and it could go swing back into Tesla's favor, especially, we didn't really highlight this. I brought up that third that was kind of a secret, but the fourth was also kind of a secret. Goki's finally turning his attention over to the left side of the map, where he's also trying to expand oddly enough.
Yeah, but that army's waiting for him in the middle. Liberator's starting to set up. He's got to leapfrog forward, which is going to be tough. He doesn't have enough Liberators to do this. Not in this open of an area. Disruptor shot! Goki!
Every time Goki stims, I cry a little bit inside.
Because he wants to go forward. He doesn't want to fall back.
Well, he's stimming preemptively as well. He really thinks he's going to get hit by a Disruptor shot, which is fine to be paranoid about. But he'll split with a stim, and it is hurting because those medevacs are actually getting kind of dry here. And believe it or not, enough Blink Stalkers left over at the end can start last shotting those Marauders. I think he started to notice this too, by the way. He started building 1 medevac per cycle here, but once again leaving those Liberators behind. It's a nice snipe from Tesla, like really nice snipes from Tesla. He's actually, I don't know what it was like he was warming up with Blink Stalkers. That was Blink Stalker controls actually.
Oh no, this is a mistake. Liberators are setting up on some harassment, but this leaves them vulnerable. If the army doesn't have that support, they can't zone out the Stalkers, they can't stop the Disruptors. Those 2 Liberators are going to go down without getting too many kills, and the Stalkers are going to advance forward. Now let's not forget, Marauders are so freaking good against Stalkers that he can't take that fight with Blink on cooldown. I did not realize, by the way, that was a planetary. I thought we had just had a base moved over, but that is some next door neighbor mining right there.
Yeah, pretty interesting game. Now Tesla, I think, does want to expand once more, probably to those bases he was trying to before, but everything shifted over to the left side. Now Goki will not be paying attention to the right. Looks like his planetary is under a little bit of harassment, once again trying to find that perfect spot with the Stalkers behind the mineral line and having a bit of trouble with that, so only 1's left over. I still give Goki the lead, of course, literally in supply. He's in the lead right now, and he is getting that Liberator count back up, but I am worried that the engagement's actually going better for a Protoss.
So this is one of those things where, let's say Goki had like Holt level split control. I think he walks over what Tesla's been doing, but he hasn't, and Tesla's been able to take advantage of these engagements around those Disruptors. I think if he starts getting a little too far away from that, he might start getting away from winning the game, but right now these Disruptors are just trying to zone out while they focus on the planetary. That's dangerous. That's a full surround of SCVs. That's not going to happen today.
Okay, so the Nexus was trying to be taken, that was been cancelled, oddly enough. Goki decided at that time to go check, and it's actually turning into a bit of a base trade, but Tesla's actually trying to come back to save the day. A time warp goes down, literally buying time here. 2 time warps. I don't think I've ever seen this at Legacy of the Void.
No, but it's working, and they're actually in a pretty nice spot for this. So the Marauders all slowed, but they are in the main. They're at the top of this, so Concave's just going to be easy peasy. He's actually going to pick up. This is dangerous. There's so many Blink Stalkers.
That was so dangerous.
Goki, you're crazy.
I don't know why he doesn't take. He's really scared of the snipers, I suppose. I mean,
in fairness, he has not been having good hits with them, so it makes sense to fall back in that situation. I like that he can recognize that with himself too. But as this continues, like Tesla, we talked about storms earlier. He hasn't needed them for a while. I think what Goki had going early on was great, but he started to fall apart when it comes to these disruptors. And if he can't get over this hurdle, I don't know how he's going to deal with Tesla.
Well, I mean, Tesla's having a little bit of trouble here, mining off of basically now only 2 bases.
Yeah, they're both hungry right now, no doubt.
Yeah, they're pretty hungry as this entire base has been denied by these couple of stalkers.
Oh, corpses go flying, storms get hit. This is looking bad for our Terran. No EMPs to hit any of these units. Disruptors flying left and right. Most of the army now gone. Goki. Oh boy, that hurts.
Yeah. But once again, this is like, it's not just his splitting that isn't, doing wonders for him. Although sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's just his awareness.
Something I kind of forgot about to check in on, we just did. Goki's had upgrade leads maxed out for a while. It's unfortunate for Tesla because he's been doing pretty good at a deficit. If he was fighting on the same level, this might look even different.
Right. That's what I was saying. Like, the awareness is. Every single time he stims, the army's not nearby, actually does hurt him. Every time he gets surprised at where the army is, there's a chance for the disruptors to actually get those shots. If you go in, you scan ahead, and they're just waiting for you, it's really easy to pick those off and split ahead, but he's not actually given that opportunity. And I think I'll actually contribute that to a bit of Tesla here. Like, his blink stalker control as well as movement has been very, very active, where worse players would just be sitting on a base that they know is secure and saying, okay, I'm going to try and defend here.
Well, that, I guess, emphasis on no money at the natural and low money at the third. Well, this continues to go forward, though. We got more disruptors being produced than liberators right now. That's kind of a scary thought to consider. Storm's kind of hitting a little bit of nothing, but...
I didn't even really notice until just now, but it's really stopped the liberators. He has actually a lot of medevacs, and really don't think it's going to kill this army with so many medevacs.
Well, he'll take on the Marauders, that's for certain, but...
It would have been those disruptors. Now, it gets kind of sandwiched in, which is very odd, trying to kite away from the Zealots but into the Blink Stalkers. But at the end of the day, you're still going to take a good trade against only Blink Stalkers and Marauders. So even though they kind of trade on the army here, those reinforcements, 3 Marauders at a time here, it is going to win out against Tesla. Tesla can't get something better than Blink Stalkers.
The supply from Goki's a little bit just... I don't know, not quite representative of what his army actually is right now. A lot of these are those Marauders, so I like these charged out warpins. If those start coming in more abundantly, if you get some depths in there, this is not going to be such a problem to deal with. But
they were a great choice when the medevac count was low. Like, they were getting those last shots, or if storms were here as well. But with the medevac actually count pretty high, just kiting through the Zealots should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, this is certainly, you want to focus on those Marauders, but I think focusing on the medevacs might be better at this point, the way he's bleeding out the Stalkers at this rate. But regardless, this is both players' money bases. Now, Tesla's actually taking his old third right now, which is kind of funny to see. So he's actually expanding while losing this base, as weird as that is.
And probably losing the game, man. We do have Berkeley going pretty crazy right now.
Yeah, with the Stalkers going down, there's not a lot of buffer for anything else. The base goes down. This is looking better and better for Berkeley in this first game.
Yeah, back and forth game, but really, actually, this is a pretty entertaining game. 23 minutes in, we saw a lot of good plays from both players, and I believe we'll see both players again in the Archon match. It's actually going to be kind of funny. They're going to have a bit of a rematch, but with a little bit of help from their partner. But that's, of course, will be later on in game number 4. Right now, I think we just have to see the death of Tesla and the loss of the first game for Temple.
Well, we talked about Goki maybe falling and redeeming himself later, but it looks like that's not going to be necessary at all. Strong Terran play here in the first game, and of course, once again, you'll see him come out a little bit later for that Archon mode match, but cleaning up what little left there is on the field, it's a little bit scary, it's a little bit daunting. Tesla's on his last legs, so this army is strong versus Marauders specifically, but this is pretty much everything Tesla's got going for him right now.
Yeah. It is over. I mean, I guess he's going to try and hold on with a couple of really good storms, but now it's no longer a case where they're both starving. Goki's actually resaturated that base that was denied. He's got another base going to the top right here, and of course he still has an extra 2 command centers, I believe, to float wherever he wants.
Well, give it chase. If you got this many medevacs, you can stim a couple of times.
Yeah, definitely.
Focusing on the Stalkers might be best. There's really not a lot to pick this off. Archons and, frankly, one Liberator could probably wreck what's left of Tesla's army, as sad as that is to consider, but trying his best and fighting for the finals. This is the last the last series for the season. This best of 7 determines everything here for the CSL.
Yep, who actually goes home with that scholarship money. And it looks like Goki's going to get the, right track started here for his team. Hopefully they'll carry that momentum. Unfortunately, there's not much to talk about. The supplies actually aren't that bad. like for 50s to buy down, that's a disruptor shot. You know, we've definitely seen that before. But of course, no disruptors, no storms.
Well,
now no more units.
Yeah, you just finally broke him. Good game gets called. All right, congratulations to Berkeley as they take that first game of the series, best of 7.
Yeah, yeah. Next up, we'll have Silky versus Centaur Wall.
The delayed roar from the crowd.
Yeah, cheering as he gets up. Like I said, we're gonna see those guys again in game number 4. Guaranteed to go to game number 4. Everything else after that's a little bit up in the air. See how Berkeley's able to carry the momentum here, if they can carry any momentum. I forgot to kind of note this. I remembered it and then I just never got to bring it up, but we're on the new map pool. Hello and welcome back. We're getting ready to go into game number 2, which will be on Freon Terraces. Actually, I don't think this came through to the stream, which is my bad, but I was going to comment on how actually we're using the new maps. So that was actually a question we had about a month ago when we were finishing up the regular season. Oh, I can hear myself. This is going to be really weird. Great. Okay, anyways, yeah, and they actually weren't sure either, so it's cool to see the new maps being used here. The Freon Terraces, of course, is one of the old maps. Looks like...
We need just a second or so.
Yeah, we just need a second. So, anyways, it's one of the older maps. This is really... It's freaking me out, man.
I don't know if we're going to be able to actually talk over ourselves if the production could maybe...
Yeah.
We have to work with what we got, guys, but it's going to be tough. It's like someone holding a gun at you that's reflecting what you're saying back at you.
Yeah, no one likes hearing their own voice, as velvety smooth as mine is. It's amazing. Anyways, okay, I think we're actually ready to go now. So as I said before we went to that break, it's going to be Silky versus Centaur Wall, which I remember because he has a very funny name. Silky is coming in for Berkeley and Centaur Wall for Temple. And we're actually getting the game right now. So it's going to be a ZVT. We just saw a PVT that did go in favor of the Terrans. See the same thing here. And we finally have Game Heart. Yay! Our handicap is back.
We did it!
Great. All right. Game number 2. In the bottom right, his team is down 0-1. It is the Green Terrans Centaur Wall.
And his opponent in the upper left, not to be confused with the Korean Sulky, it is going to be the Red Zerg Silky, representing both Flipside Tactics and Berkeley.
Yep. So ZVT on Freon Terraces. Of course, everyone's going to be afraid of Zerg on this map, just in general, because of course the gold map, or gold base and whatnot. We should have a very early scout because Freon Terraces is pretty popular for those multiple racked builds. A proxy rack to 2, 3 racks in base, as they punish basically the Zerg before they can get to all those gold bases. But it's not going to be happening here, so it's just going to be a little annoying, and then go back home.
So if you guys didn't watch the preseason, when it was primarily Archon mode, it was like, was it Silky and Suppy, I think, were the partners for that. I'm surprised we didn't actually see them sign up for the Archon mode match on the side of things. Of course, we mentioned Goki from earlier, but again, we got a good look at Silky, I think, more in the first half of the season than the latter. But regardless, what I'm curious about with Prion being the map choice, we're seeing a lot of, we'll say, favoritism to all-ins. You've got the extra income, you got the gold bases. I mean, what circuit player doesn't enjoy 3 gold or 2 gold bases?
Yeah, it's also a map where we very rarely see anything besides Roach Ravager. So, I mean, there was a time actually where Roach Ravager was considered to be the only thing you could do. Mutilating Bling just was not working and thinking of Legacy of the Void. People adapted, people learned. Now you can do it on basically every single map, but that's just not the preferred choice for most circs on this one.
Well, Centaur no coward is going to take his gold. Nice timing, so not going to prioritize anything too cheesy. No gases, no starports.
Yeah. I do want to bring up once again, we were off the formats and how the next game actually, as we confirmed going to game number 3 of course, is going to be a 2v2. The one after that's an Archon mode match. But anyway, in addition to that, we brought up like, okay, why isn't Silky and Suppy like, Archon moding it? That would probably be like a really easy win, not to, knock Temple or anything, but and it's because they can only play a certain number of times. And you do want to have one of these key players as that ace match, so either Suppy or Silky.
Plus, the 2v2 match has been a little bit funny. Not a lot of emphasis, I think, goes into them, but they're very important when it comes to the map scores. They are the 3rd game, guaranteed to be played every single time. But anyways, more on that when we get to it. We got the Reaper harassing right now. It's a little annoying. Nothing too dangerous just yet. It is, again, Prion terraces. Not a lot of ways you can run away with this when it's not proxied.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious, Silky not rushing out for that 3rd. We usually see Zerg take that pretty darn quick.
Yeah, we do. We actually have very early Overlord speed, so it's good speed for a Scout. Don't get too excited yet until you see that Evolution Chamber.
Yeah, it's the Evolution Chamber that'll guarantee whether it's going to end up being drops or not. I personally am a big fan of drop play, regardless of how you use it, whether it's a couple of links for Harass, whether it's straight up Bane Rain. I think it's a cool aspect that they added in Legacy of the Void, and I'm really glad to see players when they take advantage of it.
Yeah, but of course I feel like it is more used against
Protoss. Yeah,
definitely than Terran. It can be used as a harassment tool though, which I mean, it's a really cool addition as well. But I don't think it would like hold off on a 3rd base just to do that. So it looks like it's going to be just for scouting. As far as like Terran all-ins go, there's not so many. Like Hell Battle-ins really are just falling off because you do see roaches so often, as you see a Roachborn go in that production tab. There are a couple of 2-base builds that can be tricky, like those faster combat shield-less drops. I think that's really what you want to get in the scout for, as well as just in general if it's going to be a 3rd CC. You don't want to be surprised by a tank push.
Now this Overlord of the main might be a little bit spooky for Centaur, but it doesn't look like a drop Overlord. It's very important that they did finally add that detail. So gets the scouting, it's kind of nice, nothing too scared to worry about. He's had a couple Marines running around, but
I just mentioned the Hellbat all-in and how it's not really done anymore.
And then the armory, yep.
Yeah, so this actually, if it does nothing, it's actually pretty poor for the Terran. I mean, usually it can kill a couple of queens or maybe just, force a bunch of lings, but you're already going to be getting roaches. He obviously scouted to know to get like 4 or 6 roaches.
This is interesting though, because he does this, and it's less of like an all-in. He's taking an actual 3rd, but it's part of his wall.
I hate that.
I'm not a fan of this play either, but we'll see if maybe Centaur War can make it work. I mean, again, these guys as a team, each player, they got to the finals here. They're all good enough to be playing. I like the idea behind it. It might trick Silky into thinking this is more dedicated than it is.
Well, he does have those 4 roaches, they said. He was prepped for this, but it's actually, there's going to be a little bit of micro involved here, and he's going to need a few more roaches. The queens are also off creep right now. So
I mean, this is working out great to start.
This is actually working out pretty well. I'm really surprised that Silky under-defended this. I just figured he knew exactly what he was doing, and that's all he needed.
There's a Banshee follow through, so killing the queen so important. Without that ability to have anti-air, you can rely on spore crawlers only, and that won't cut it. So as he chases these back towards the main, there's more roaches on the way, but they don't really matter. If the queens die, that's what matters.
Here's what's also really important about the Banshee. I mean, Silky, he's getting a lot of units. He actually probably like over-made units right now, as he was panicking for a little bit. But his one opportunity would have been like, okay, I can counterattack now. Roaches and Ravagers can bust walls pretty easily, but with that Banshee around, that's actually not going to happen. It's not exactly like a useless army. That's all that would have gone into drones.
Yeah, Silky definitely feeling the pressure after that attack. Now, it's worth noting that really didn't touch the economy, right? Like, it did make more roaches instead of more drones, but didn't kill anything. A couple of queens went down, but overall not badly defended by our Berkeley player.
So I did wonder about this. By getting that Banshee, you're significantly delaying your sim, if that's what you were going for. But of course, as we can see,
it's not.
A lot of factors have just gone down. We are going to see Mech from Centaur Wall, which is going to be very interesting. Mech is in a very funny position where it's basically like not used.
I mean, I'm a fan of it, don't get me wrong, but a lot of it has to do more with the sky and less about the ground. So what's going to be really interesting is roaches are not great against tanks. We all know this. But roaches with tunneling claws that don't get seen until they're on top of the tanks, those could be really good.
it is actually very interesting to see, because we have been seeing, you know, I mean, even Gumiho does it, right? And a lot of other Terrans are doing this sky mech thing.
Yep.
Where it's actually it'll snowball very, very quickly. You get Banshees with speed, and then you go into Liberators, and hell, maybe even if it goes on for that long, you actually do go into Cyclones, but like a long ways off. To have mech in the old-fashioned sense, that is like 5 factories and a 3rd CC.
Oh, nice block out of Silky.
This usually just gets overwhelmed, to be honest.
This is only anti-air because he's got mech. Ha! This is actually not going to get cleared. He's going to land us up to the side. He gets blocked by more creep. This is so annoying.
And he lost all the Marines on the attack, too. Like, she's going to have like a Marine to send over here.
Well, and nicely done by Silky. Centaur-Wa, though, lands it, because he has command, so you can lift it up, you move it later, not a big deal, but certainly annoying, because there's not going to be anti-air. We have Cyclones coming out with Magfield Accelerator. Let's talk about this dynamic.
This is... I thought it was going to go hard to the Swarm, and I was thinking like tanks and Hellbats, but this is something that was so damn overpowered in the beginning of Legacy.
Once upon a time.
Oh my god, there was no response. Like, Broodlords weren't even a response.
Yeah, Ultras couldn't deal with it, nothing could deal with it.
Even when that was the case, it was still a very dangerous time getting up to a good number of Cyclones. Like, if you were attacked before you had maybe 15 plus, you actually are probably going to get overwhelmed. So, same thing can happen here.
We also saw Fungal Growth start shutting these down for a time, too. Cyclone's greatest strength is their ability to kite. They don't have that much health. It's like 120 or something like that. So, what those for those who don't know, the Magfield Accelerator upgrade you see there in the production tab that you probably aren't too familiar with, that doubles the damage of lock-on to armored units only. So that's going to be 800 damage over a few seconds. It's a little bit scary when it gets to that point, if they can kite. But again, if they can't kite, not a problem. On creep, Roaches with speed, Roaches burrowed, you lose detection. There's a lot of ways to break that lock-on.
Yeah. Actually, there's a lot of ways to break mech in general, depending on, of course, what type of mech you're doing. But as we can see, it is the Cyclones. Now, what I'm curious is, does Silky realize there's going to be that Cyclone game? He saw one pop out to go the Overlord, but that, you know, that could have been like an emergency because he didn't have any anti-air. So I don't know, but I think that the answer to mech can always be a few different things, consistently across all the types of mech we see. There's the overwhelming type, you know, you hit them hard and fast and just hope to not let them get up to a max or close to max. And then there's, of course, the tech option where they're slowly expanding, they're slowly building an army, and you just take advantage of that because they're not going to attack you with this army. If they do, it might surprise you. You might die, but you also might just get pushed back.
It's funny you bring that up like that too, because that's one of these aspects where when players are playing mech, because it's so uncommon nowadays, you might actually just not know how to respond to this. Silky, he's certainly got the capability, but right now he's down in supply. He's actually perhaps going to get demolished in this fight. I'm really worried for him.
I did not realize how fast Centaur-Wa was actually getting up to almost max, and you do have to wait until about 150 and above to really push out safely as a mech player.
Well, Lock-On's going to come, but he's not going to kite. He's just going to use them for damage, and why not? Look at that damage. The Roaches just melt. It's like hot butter.
His upgrades also aren't going to be done. He's trying to get up to those Vipers to help out, but I think he actually might just get overwhelmed here. There's a lot of Hellbats buffering for this army, but they're not really going down that quickly. They are doing their job buffering, but as they go down, those Cyclones can start being chased.
He's starting to get this cleaned up, though, and a lot of this is going to have to do with that 22 Roach swell following this up. Yeah. The Cyclones are very expensive. These are not easily mass-produced units. They cost more gas than they're worth, and that's what makes this a good trade for Silky, despite looking so scary for a second there.
That was actually terrifying. I really thought he was about to lose, but he does push it back and now has a supply lead. Centaur-Wa does not have a 4th base. In fact, he still hasn't moved his 3rd base to the proper location.
Oh my god, Centaur-Wa's 3rd base is still off position because of the whole creep spread from earlier, but even with that the case, I mean, the Roaches I think would have been enough to push us back. Now we're getting more Hydras behind us. I will say one of the scary things is he doesn't have a lot of creep to work with. Off of creep, getting these surrounds, getting these attacks, unlikely. We got the Corrosive Bowels taken out, those Liberators, not a problem, and Silky keeps holding on. But I do want to point out the supply for Centaur-Wa. It's fallen heavily. You mentioned it ago. You can't really fight when you're like sub 150 supply with a mech army.
Yeah, just not going to go very well. Now, of course, the Cyclones, you can play very dangerously with them. You can try and kite and get that kind of free damage, but with the Vipers coming out especially as well, abducting, placing down blinding clouds to force the Cyclones to really reposition, they can be very helpful. I actually thought his intention was to go up to Broodlords, to be honest, but he never got a Spire.
I think if it wasn't Cyclones, it may be more appealing, but the fact that it is Cyclones, as we see, each of them locks on and melts a Roach, but there's so many Roaches, they can't melt them all. Abducts on what little Cyclones are left, and Silky pushes in for the win!
GG! So that's actually going to put Berkeley at a 2-0 lead. So that's actually a nice bit of momentum here.
Well done. All right, now we've actually seen our fair share of the CSLs though, where you've got the the 2v2s, you got the Archon mode matches. They're kind of almost given away because they're not the priority games. So we may see this come back and be a 2-2. And I don't say that with like any shred of doubt in my mind that that's actually a possibility.
Yeah. I mean, as far as like if the managers are here and they're actually like, you know, trying to set everything up really well, it is kind of, it can be a tactic to throw out some pretty heavy hitters first and then the less heavy hitters after. So a 2-0 is a nice momentum. Everyone's hyped, everyone's cheering, but it can also be easily turned with this Archon and 2v2.
Well, who are the 2v2 players for each team? We got, for Temple, Heartbeat and Eclipse, and for Berkeley, a combination of Akira, Arca, excuse me, just thinking of greatest anime of all time, am I right? And Uri.
Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna lie, those don't sound familiar.
No, but we've seen with 2v2s, a lot of these games have actually been just grab players, fill the slot, get the game. I can't remember which we had one university that actually trained for the 2v2, and the rest have been very open about saying like, yeah, we just played it because we like had to.
Yeah. It's also been interesting since the playoffs. They've of course expanded to a best of 7, and that's actually been just like, you know, suddenly they're grabbing like 2 extra players. Like, please come.
You're gonna have to, yeah, especially with the whole you can only play like twice rule.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I think we are going to head to a break now and before we get into game number 3. So see you guys in a few minutes.
Staring at the sunset, and I wonder how it all came down to this one moment. Think of all my dedication, and I wonder how it all came down to this one moment. Sometimes when nothing's going right, I wish that I could go back in time. Back in time. Tonight I feel the tides moving, and this is bigger than me. Now I need to go back in time. Back in time.
welcome back to the CSL. We're going to game number 3, which will be a 2v2, and speaking of which, let's change our overlays.
I'm guessing you probably can't do that. If I had to guess. Oh, cool. Well, there you go, you nailed it. High five, Sandra.
Actually, I think Gina Loud just remembered. I never remember, so.
I know, the entire season it's been constantly the wrong overlay, thanks to Miss Grub over here, so.
50-50. But yeah, so we're getting in here. It is taking a little bit longer to get, you know, twice as many players in, but it's going to be on Sludge City.
Oh, we have seen this one all too many times throughout the season.
So if you guys, you know, weren't watching before, it's basically they flip-flop between map pool / rotation week to week. So there's only 2. There's only 2 2v2 maps, Sludge City, and I actually can't remember the name of the other one.
I get super. I love playing team games. I love 2v2s. I'm always really jealous that we don't get to actually play in these, but. It's interesting because we've seen, again, like some of these get thrown away, some of them are the legit most try hard, we gotta win the 2v2s. I'm curious how much these teams practice. It's the finals, there's a lot of money on the line. I would be severely disappointed if there was no practice going into this.
Yeah, for sure. We are now into the map, so this is going to, nope, we're not, just kidding.
Wrong race. There are some actual rules about the 2v2, especially regarding races that we should touch base on really quick. You're not allowed to double stack any race. So for example, we can't both pick Zerg, one would have to go Terran, but she could play random and hope to get Terran as well type thing.
Yeah. So that actually has not happened. Plenty of people actually chosen random, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we actually statistically should have seen at least one double at this point.
But no one actually got doubles. I don't know what it is, it's just luck of the draw. So it is interesting, and we definitely talked about our opinions on the matter before, and they really matter, but I think, I honestly believe this is a very old rule. Like the same reason Assimilars have so much health and there's no one bothered to fix it, since they needed the health earlier in Wings of Liberty, that they just don't like, because there were legitimate broken strategies earlier on, when 2v2 was like more of a thing, to be honest. I'm not sure why the rule is actually continuing to go though, because we don't play that many 2v2s, so we don't cast that many 2v2s, obviously.
Well, we play a lot of 3v3s with our bad friends, though.
But we did end up casting a fairly large 2v2 tournament in Heart of the Swarm, and stacking races wasn't super overpowered.
No, but you did start seeing a lot of things like massive amounts of Phoenixes look scary, and I think that may have been taken into consideration.
It can look stupid, for sure.
At the same time, though, just like the format of the best of 7 for these finals, it may have just been a unique spin that CSL wanted to put on it. Either way, it's made the season a little bit more enjoyable, because these 2v2s have been consistently my favorite match to cast in all of the games up to here.
Yeah, they're actually very chaotic. Sometimes they do end very early as 2v2s, as I think everyone knows that they actually play 2v2, especially with like a random person. Like, it's a lot about cheese. And of course, we usually see, actually not for this team, but usually we see a Zerg on both sides. The Zerg, I think, has the capability of both being the
early pool is scary.
The early pool can attack, obviously, but it can also defend against the opposing team's early pool, and it just is a very useful race to be, basically. But we actually have a Terran, a Protoss, and then a Zerg Terran, so we're getting back into the game now, and we're gonna.
So this is actually game 3 of the 2v2 happening for real this time.
For realsies. So we'll introduce the players and then talk a little bit about the map and why it's a decent 2v2 map. But alright, as I was saying, the complicated intros are gonna be going down here. So in the top left, as the red Terran, it is Udi with his partner, the purple Protoss, Polar Bear Me.
Yeah, not to be confused with Panda Bear Me, of course, Zerg player. The opposing team, representing Temple, can have the combination of the blue Zerg Heartbeat, ba-bum, 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 and Eclipse. Total eclipse of the heartbeat.
It's my soundproof headphones.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so as we can see, we just talked about like early pools. That's actually happening right now. We have the Zerg of the game going for a very early pool. But I want to talk about the map a little bit as well. So you are disconnected from your partner. Some of the 2v2 maps are actually like in the same space. You can both help the same wall, basically. But what is nice about 2v2 maps, actually we also have a proxy. Look at that.
Yeah.
Is that, this one in particular, it has a lot of expansion opportunities. A lot of the other 2v2 maps do not. It is basically like one base and hope for the best. But this one doesn't necessarily play to that, but like it doesn't matter. Even if Berkeley wanted to.
Gonna get scouted, which is kind of crazy.
Yes, it is going to get scouted, of course.
Crazy fanatic fans showed up. We had to shoot them away. It was ridiculous.
Seriously.
Now, this is unfortunate because it gets scouted. Obviously, this is like suddenly your plans are thrown to shit, but this is not quite what it is in a 1v1. And one of the nice things is even if this got completely shut down right here, the SCV somehow killed all 3 of the other SCVs, you've got a teammate to rely on. You could trade resources. There's so many extra dynamics to a 2v2 that is so cool, at least to me.
It is so interesting to me that our pink Terran is actually not going for Reapers.
That's actually a great point. I'm wondering if this has anything to do with... You know what, actually, so this is interesting. I remember you could go 5 racks, right, for the way proxies work. And if you just have a massive amount of units, those Banelings bust that wall down, those Marines just storm the fort, you're gonna have like twice as many units. Because as you pointed out, you are cut off from your ally. You don't actually have them in the defender's advantage here.
So what's also interesting is it's not a Baneling bust. It is just Lings coming forward with speed eventually. And then Marines.
So what's scary in this situation then? Like the Protoss base, which may eventually have the overcharge, or the Terran base that has a bunker, because neither are going down very easily.
I think that the Protoss is going to be easier one to hit. It usually has always been. The Mothership only is going to have 1 overcharge after all, and it's actually just pop and kills only 2 Lings. So definitely put down that pylon. You know, I'm actually imagining he's thinking a bust, a Baneling bust, even though it's not, but still just buy as much time as possible.
Oh, he's going to get the Mothership core. Oh, that's going to go down. Not good here for Temple.
He's trying to pump out a
or Berkeley,
sentry
excuse me.
right now. Yeah, he's trying to pump out a sentry to go ahead and force field that off. Of course, here's where things get really interesting. So we do have Udi coming over.
But the Lings are going to help guard with this. This will be nice.
This is actually a very tough choice. I mean, it's basically like you have to decide, can I help my partner or do I let him die and hope that I can carry the game?
Look at this. He tried to help, got killed. Lings are ready to do more damage. There's a Hellion trying to come out, but Force Field buys more time in this frame. That Cybercore needs to finish Warp Tech. If that Warp Tech goes down too soon, it could be over, but the depots are left down. Hellion's going to try and kite to that bunker. Bit of a distraction. Lings get killed.
I guess that was actually the worst thing. In fact, that almost worked out better. Now the Lings aren't bothering the Protoss anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
That actually is fine so far. So
oh, the Marines just break down that bunker though. Who cares? Only 2 Marines inside that bunker. Now the pink Marines storming the front temple, looking to take charge here in the 2v2. Now in that mineral line, this is getting really scary.
The Protoss might be able to help now, though. The warp gate's almost done.
I don't know. More Lings are still flooding in. We got used to across them. Again, the worker count, look at that worker count. 12 and 14 for Temple. If they don't kill them here, they're going to be behind.
Okay, they take out the Lings actually surprisingly effectively. If they get a surrounded Marines, they're still going to go down.
So many SCVs.
Don't try and take one of those Marines. Actually, I think that the Protoss deal with this. A Stalker can kite as many Marines as your Micro can handle, actually.
But you don't have to fight the Stalker. You just turn around and fight the SCVs instead. He murders this down to 4 workers. So here's the weird thing about this now. You've got 2 players on Temple with decent at best economy. On Berkeley, you've got the Protoss, 24 probes, looking fantastic. Is that enough to win this game?
Sorry. I did just look, and Eclipse is still not on an orbital command, which is...
Oh, that's a problem.
You know, mules are actually pretty good for Terran, I just gotta say, but things are still a little bit chaotic, but I think that Protoss, I mean, it's actually funny that we've seen so many cases in 2v2s where the Protoss, they basically had to cut off their ally and say, like, I can't help you, but I think I can win the game, and they do win the game. I mean, Protoss at a certain point do get very, very strong.
Yeah, we had that almost 1v2 game. You remember the comeback for that?
Exactly. I mean, they're the ones that were untouched for the most part. They got this nice, like, maybe 4-gate or something going on, and the attackers are still recovering somewhat, you know?
I mean, again, the low worker count, we don't have Temple trying to produce anything right now. They're still going hard on the Marines. They're still going for a Roach War, and we don't have a lot going for them economically.
Yeah, of course, right there you just saw that the main base of our Zerg looks very undersaturated. That's because the natural base for him is a gold.
Yeah, makes more sense to put workers over there.
Yeah,
now, well, maybe the Zerg player with the gold base can start taking this. Nothing here is going to stop this Oracle from killing what little SCVs there are. Rest in pepperonis,
so boys. It's funny because usually, you know, you mule drop and you start remaking
Where
it.
are the other 9? Did he pull them?
Yeah, he did pull them. Okay. Interesting. Well, I was going to say, if he was down to 0, his friend could help him out and transfer over minerals.
The ones that he didn't bring back from building the base. His bad macro is paying off for him right now.
Okay, so the Oracle, unfortunately, did show itself to kill SCVs, and I think that the Sport Club is finishing up for the Zerg now. Might have been preferable to go for the Zerg, actually, especially with that gold base, but...
There's no income for Eclipse right now, so it is just 1v2 now with Heartbeat being the only one making anything. Hellion should be able to deal with the initial waves, no problem. But the Roaches might make this tough.
I think Berkeley's got this, actually. Like, Udi and Polar Bear Me are looking very strong. I love the setup with the pylons here. So double
overcharges.
it's just it's like a last ditch all in, and Oracle can certainly help against this.
And let's not forget, Guardian Shield will help your allies as well, so more damage reduction for everybody in this party. You get damage reduction, you get damage reduction, while Hellions kill all the Marines. The Stalkers moving forward, the Zealots might go down, but they killed the Roaches. When do Zealots ever kill Roaches?
So Udi is actually even expanding behind this just denial of a push, and I think that with that, Berkeley is definitely going to win. It clips it down to 4, 3, 2, 1 supply here.
GG! Berkeley now with a 3-0.
That's a very good lead. Very good lead for Berkeley.
Especially because, like, more than ever, these are the games where we see the turnaround. This is where we start seeing a team come back from being behind.
Yep.
Now we're moving to an Archon mode match where we know Goki, if he's actually playing, if that's actually Goki on the roster playing, we know he knows how to play already. He won the first game of the day.
Yeah, so that's the rematch that I brought up earlier. We were guaranteed to get to, even if they, continue to win. So Goki and Robbie P, who I forget was actually the username, but basically they were the ones that played earlier today. They got this 1v1. They're gonna have a rematch going on with the help of, for Goki, Sakura Chio, and for Robbie P, Centaur Wall, who we did see in the second game. Actually, speaking of, I guess, just like who their partners are, another thing that's interesting is we do see a lot of the times they won't have 2 Zerg players or 2 Terran players.
Or even 2 players in the same room.
Yeah, or 2 players in the same room, exactly. Like, of course, this would be a nice benefit of being live, but so we might have them choose like a Terran, and I've always wondered how that dynamic goes down. Some people are very good with all races.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Some people are very good at all races and it doesn't matter, and then some people are literally just there to fill a body.
That's not a good sign.
That was a very bad sign.
Grim Reaper literally walking behind
And we're getting pretty hungry, so I feel like he's telling us we're about to starve. Oopsie.
Help us!
He's the first person I've seen to actually dress up.
I was like, what cosplayers downstairs. We saw some, of course, League of Legends since it was popular.
Oh, yeah, I guess that would be downstairs.
I love StarCraft, but this has got to be one of the hardest games to cosplay. Like, how do you cosplay Zerg? Like, how do you cosplay a Marine? It's such bulky armor. Like
that Hydralisk at BlizzCon?
That one must have taken
you tried
so
very,
much.
very, very hard.
Yeah. So question here for us is now going to be go to break when ready. So, okay, never mind. That answers my question. We'll see you guys in a bit for the Archon mode match. Stay tuned for the CSL Finals.
welcome back. We might be going into the very last game of the night if UC Berkeley continues to do well. It's going to be an Archon mode match with the players for Berkeley being Goki and Sakura Chio, and the players for Temple being Robbie P and Centaur Wall, and then I think Sakura Chio is the only person we haven't seen. So everyone else we kind of recognize.
Now, we talked about this in the 2v2, but I'm going to bring it up again here for the Archon. This is a match that doesn't always get taken the most seriously. A lot of emphasis goes into planning out the 1v1s. They're easier to control, they're easier to practice for, and then let's be honest, they're all more experienced in anyways. So this, I'm hoping, is going to be the best showing out of Temple. Because if they do not bring their A game here, as Namgrab mentioned, this could be it. This could be the last game and just a 4-0 sweep for Berkeley in the finals. I mean, so far, they are looking like that might just be the case.
Yeah, I guess that's the one good thing about a team league format is that I don't think momentum carries quite the same weight, especially in a format like this when it does get very different very quickly. You know, if you're 3-0 and you're just you versus the other guy is probably like, he's freaking out, man. He's like starting to get tilted and whatnot, but you come into the game number 4 here and it's well, at least one brand new player, but at least like another guy is only coming back after a rest. So hopefully they're ready to actually swing the momentum back into the favor of Temple and actually make this go to Game 7 for them at this point.
I'm having a little bit of deja vu here, but correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't Tesla, this happened before. We had the rematch of Tesla and his ally versus Goki and an ally, didn't we? I feel like this is obviously not between these two players. It's the first time they're meeting in the finals, but I feel like this has happened before, where it was both of the first players that got resurrected, or not resurrected, but brought to the Archon.
Yeah, we've definitely seen that happen before. So again, interesting question is whether or not both players, like, how do they divvy up the Archon, like.
What's interesting, and I guess we'll get to actually see this for the first time, is we've had instances where straight up players have said, okay, we invited somebody for the Archon mode and told the second guy not even to play. And this, it's kind of like just the 1v2 situation. Here in the CSL finals, we can see whether the players are like chilling behind the computer, just like having a good time, or if this is actually going to be everyone fighting all out. Because again, teamwork is going to be necessary, communication is key, and this Archon mode match is borderline what determines whether there's a winner or a loser in this best of 7 finals.
Yep. It's going to be an Invader, by the way, so very interesting map. Yeah.
Don't enjoy this map, personally.
Yeah. So it's Archon mode, you know, so it looks like a 1v1, I think difference is really there, but it will be interesting to see what they're fighting with each other, which you can actually sometimes tell very clearly. You know, one person's controlling a probe, the other one tries to control the probe too, and it fails, ultimately.
Well, I guess we saw a little bit of just coordination over this. Tesla was sitting there by Centaur Wah, they're discussing things, and had to scooch back to his computer, so I think now getting that lobby invite, we should be getting this going soon.
Yep.
It is worth noting though, again, Archon mode is a very different style of play. Even though it is still your classic 1v1, a lot of, I'd say, opportunities are made possible, like dedicating to siege tank drops, being able to focus more on the micro for one player, less on the other for the macro. It's interesting to see the way this influences, and we're going to get to see how these players play if Tesla ever joins the lobby.
Yeah. Might be a lobby bug. Actually, I do see some of the staff going over there asking what's wrong, so it might be a few more minutes. But we know at least one of the teams is actually going to be Terran. That's Goki and Sakura Chio, which makes sense. Goki had very strong showing as Terran in the first game. Won his game after all. I honestly don't remember Sakura Chio.
So the issue comes from they're trying to get Discord set up so they can actually communicate.
So
it's good to know it's not StarCraft that's broken. That would be a big problem. That'd be a whole other can of worms.
Yeah. But actually, Sakura Chio we haven't seen yet, but he also plays twice. So he's going to be playing here, and then if it does go in at Game 6, he'll be showing up again.
Cool. Well, like we said, guys, we'll just give him a few minutes to fix whatever's wrong with the computer. Hopefully it won't take too much time. As again, they should take all the time that the admins are willing to give them. They need every bit of focus, coordination, control.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is the team that is losing that's having the troubles clicking the Discord. Yeah, I don't know.
So, the other team is suggesting that they just try and talk in real life. I'm going to tell you from what's happening right now, guys, that's not a good idea.
It's not happening.
It is so hard to hear everything here, including each other.
Yeah. Especially because I guess they've been set up on their PCs for some time to practice, so...
They're going to start a timer in Temple if they can't get this sorted, which could be a problem. They can't afford a loss of any variety at this point.
Yeah. I was gonna say they've been practicing, I guess, on like specific computers, so they're actually not even sitting next to each other. Like they actually could not talk to each other.
Yeah. So for Temple, you guys can't see this. They are about say 3 computers apart, whereas Berkeley are right now. They're cuddling up. They're having a good time over there.
Cuddle buddies.
Cuddle buddies.
They thought ahead a little bit there. So unfortunately, yeah, you know, we actually, that's why we're no longer wearing the headsets, because it helps to actually hear each other. They definitely cannot. The casting is going around on tables.
You can't even take the headphones off as a player. You need those game sounds. You need the alerts of like, oh, I'm getting attacked. Oh, I heard rocks being broken down. Like, there's a lot of subtle things in StarCraft you cannot take for granted. No sound is not an option.
Yeah, that's true. There's legitimate practice technique or idea or whatever of not putting your headset on. The more you know. So that you don't rely on the game sounds. You rely on your minimap awareness. Not that anyone does that anymore.
That's a little too hardcore for me, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Also, unbind your F2. No one does that. Nope.
My way of playing is hit F2, don't watch the minimap, but just listen for sounds. Close my eyes and play some StarCraft 2.
StarCraft 2 is for babbies.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's the Brood War CSO. Well, while we're waiting, I mean, we have tons of things to look at, so I know you guys are like, where's the games? So, like, there's a game going on there, there's like a Pokemon tournament going on over there. It's not actually on the screen. Street Fighter back there.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff at DreamHack. I mean, this is our first time at DreamHack too, which is pretty cool. So shout out to any Base Rate TV fans out there. If you are watching, why aren't you here? That's the real question. We actually had a meetup this morning, which was pretty fun with a lot of our fans. You unfortunately did not get to attend. But we had like something like 25, 30 people show up, which was cool. So definitely some Base Rate TV love here in Austin.
Yeah, yeah. I would have loved to have gone, but I didn't.
Yeah, you slept in. You slept in.
Yeah, yeah. Looks like we do have another staff member coming over. I guess that's actually just a problem with the headset, not even Discord. So.
Yeah, it might just be better to swap their PCs. Just get them. I mean, we got 5 PCs set up because of course this was also doubled over for the CS:GO, for the Dota 2 final. So there are some extra PCs to spare, which is nice.
That is true.
Unfortunately for me, by the way, I have been playing with all these elastic bands we found on the desk and have one left, which I'm now going to shoot towards the camera. Didn't work. I didn't give that enough spit.
What the hell?
I choked under pressure. This is what it's like to be a StarCraft player. Ugh.
He's not even, he's taking a picture of the camera.
Yeah, maybe.
Going through to see us.
That's some like super meta stuff. This is where I bring out a cell phone and take a picture of him, taking a picture of us through the camera that's taking. But sorry for the salt tag, sorry for the downtime, guys. They are working diligently to get this computer fixed up so we can get this, again, possibly last game. We don't know for certain that this will be the case or not, but it is all on Temple. I feel like for Berkeley, you can lose a game here, it's not so scary. For Temple, this is their life on the line, very literally. They cannot lose a single game going forward.
And it is starting to get into the realms of like frustrating for the technical issues here. You get like 5 minutes, you have to change your headset, like it's no big deal, but you gotta change your headset, it doesn't work, Discord doesn't work, the admin's telling you get like time. I feel like they're probably a little stressed out right now. I'm a little stressed out, just waiting here, buying time, so.
We're hungry, guys. It's not even about buying time, it's just the hunger pangs kicking in. Oh.
Yeah.
Katniss Everdeen, the hunger pangs. Like it? I don't know, I'll give it like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, it was alright. It wasn't the greatest.
Hey, we've got, again, that cosplaying Death circling back, again, not a forebodingly good thing, but he does pay Berkeley a visit, so that might be good for Temple. Maybe.
I don't know about that.
What?
Unless he kills every single one of them right now.
Yeah, maybe.
Because of course, the situation right now is that Berkeley just has to win once, right? And they still have a very heavy hitter in Suppy, who will be coming in next for the continuation of the 1v1s.
I'm actually really excited to see Suppy play again. I'm going to be really sad actually if this ends here. I want us to go one more, if for no other reason, just to see Suppy play.
Yeah? So
we got to see him earlier. Didn't do so great with DreamHack, unfortunately, but he's still got a chance here to represent for the CSL.
Yep.
We're getting it soon, so that's a good update.
They've swapped computers, it looks like, so
they are getting cuddly with each other, just like Berkeley. So we now know that the winning factor of this will not be whether you were cuddling your ally or not. Or I guess it's Archon mode to be cuddling yourself, right? Okay, serious question.
That's a weird question.
Serious question, okay. You got 2 guys cuddling each other, but it's an Archon. So is that self-love?
So it would be like an Archon cuddling himself?
Well, but that's the thing. Is it two people cuddling each other and we call it an Archon, or is it an actual merging of like entities? That's an art. You're just like, oh.
Yeah, it's two different things. Okay, like it's two people. It's not self-love. Okay, it's not how
Two
it
people
works.
sound like French fries to me.
French fries are bad. You're an idiot.
Yep. Anyways, so
Code
hopefully.
words.
It's unfortunate because we've lost. I feel like we've made backwards progress because we at least had Centaur in the lobby before.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately,
now
we
they're
don't
both
have
out.
either player for Temple.
Yeah, because I guess he was the one that's actually. He's the one that's having trouble with the headset, but he was the one that was actually in. Anyways, I was gonna say that it's like it's what time is it? It's 11. Oh, my battery's out.
It is.
Definitely not 9. Why is your computer
It is
so wrong?
11:18.
Yeah, so this is around the time that we would be going crazy on the CSL cast at home, so that makes sense. Coupled with the fact that we're on
Yo,
there.
in fairness, we have I think a bigger record of you going crazy on the cast before me, though.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, 2 hours to play. This was supposed to start at 9. We actually started at what 9:30, 9:40, something like that. So, I mean, time-wise, this isn't terrible, even with a hiccup, but. It has been quite the day here at DreamHack as we've been having some fun. Or at least I have. I know you've been resting, getting ready for the cast.
Yep. Resting.
Shout out to one of our mods, Mr. Boris Makarov, chilling over there. There's no camera to see him, but shout out to Mr. Boris Makarov. He's an awesome guy.
Yep. I'm really surprised more people haven't come up behind us to do stupid shit.
Right, like there's not an actual barrier here to stop it. Like I could just walk like.
It was beautiful.
It was. So I kind of assumed we'd have more people like photobombing us. We had Annie stop by and make game number 2 a little bit awkward on us, but
Yeah. I remember when I went to IEM New York, one of my first tournaments I attended. They had like a similar setup, right? Where like it'd be kind of like the casters are right there, but like a little bit up on a podium. Same with the camera. But if you went behind the podium, like you could definitely be seen, and they were so attentive to not letting people do anything back there. Like, they can't stop you from walking, but if anyone like paused for a second, they're like.
I like that BlizzCon when you could actually. We had like I was one of the people holding up signs behind Nate and Roddy on like the camera and stuff like that. That was pretty fun time.
There's a couple of situations where some of those posters were at least PG-13, but anyways, no one here. Womp womp.
Well, I don't really know what we're supposed to do at this point, guys. We are stuck in a bit of limbo.
Leave your own, buddy.
Sorry, I'm just used to looking at this computer.
Yeah. Alright, so apparently it's going to take a little while longer than anticipated, so we are just going to head to a break, and then, hopefully you're back in at least, 5 minutes. One of the computers is stuck in French.
Alright, well, we will. How do you say be right back in French? Be right back? No, that was not
It's
an
like
accent.
country, what the hell? We're going to be right back. Bye.
I know, it's like, wait, did I just go southern with that?
welcome back to the CSL. It might be the last game again. Sorry about that break, but there's actually a ton of technical issues, I guess one after another, and they finally got them all resolved.
We just cut here and pretend like none of that happened, right?
Yeah, just cut here,
it in
exactly.
post.
Exactly. So everything should be good. They are in fact in the lobbies. I can once again hear myself. Great.
Yeah.
And
everyone make sure to check their races too. We don't want to have to remake this for the 5th time.
yeah, that would be nice. So apparently it's going to be a Terran versus Protoss.
Not surprising, we got Tesla. I actually got to talk to Tesla a little bit during the break. Not feeling super confident about this, but tried to psych him up a little bit if I could. I mean, I don't know these guys, but I want to see good games.
Yeah, unfortunately he was the one that lost earlier today to Goki, so I guess he's still not feeling so hot after that. As he is facing him again, just, with a partner. So we're ready to go. If you guys forgot, it is going to be on Invader, essentially the last map. We talked about even if this isn't the last map, the next match will be Suppy versus Samcro, and well, Suppy still has a name, he still has pretty good mechanics from a long time being a pro gamer, so.
Well, that and Suppy's still playing DreamHack, so depending on how quick this game goes, how quick his games over there go, we'll see how all things time out. But nailing it here on the overlay.
Whatever. Your face.
Well, I was gonna say we used to use this one we had to, but
it's not this ugly. It's not that ugly.
Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This could be the ace match of the H game. This is really scary for Temple. If they don't win this, I just really, really want to stress that this could be where it ends.
Yeah.
But of course, currently up 3-0 for their team. In the top right side of Invader, we got the combination of Goki and Sakura Chio.
In the bottom right, as the purple Protoss, it is a combination of Tesla and Centaurwa for Temple.
Now, of course, these guys had some technical problems. And there's a forge. Are they cannon rushing? Is this actually happening?
If this was a 2v2, I'd be like, sounds about right. But this is, it's still 1v1, even there's like 4 players in here.
It's funny, for a small time when Legacy came out, this was actually really effective. You got so much money as an early game. Oh, they're opening CC first!
That's exactly what I did last time, though. Like, this is actually a really good read. I'm guessing Tesla called this because Goki went for a CC first in their 1v1, and this is an excellent call. Like,
this is great. He's going to pull SCVs into this. This is where you're going to have to dance around this probe a little bit. Walls himself in. This is the map. This was planned for Invader. This is so sick.
Of course, they had 2 probes going out to see where their opponents were, so the other one's coming back now. I guess that'll be the one that can actually get to the other side.
I like the cancel on the command center. That's probably a very smart move. They need to get some barracks going down. They need production, get some bunkers up at the top or something, but this is going to be scary. The pylons are going to go down, but the cannons are still going to be protected by more pylons.
Oh, I was like, why did he cancel that one? So he made another barrier to that one cannon.
This is so clever. This is so clever. And if the SCVs are too eager, they could get trapped in.
I really do wonder how this is going to end up going. We have a gateway on the way, by the way, so there is a follow-up to this that's not just cannon. So I also wondered about that. That cannon actually wasn't powered until just now. A little bit interesting. So do misplace the bunker. It's like when I defend a cannon rush.
We got 2 probes up here. I'm wondering if this is 2 different people, each controlling one of the probes, or what's going on, but this is absolutely phenomenal. I have not seen, we've cast so many pro matches, we've never seen anyone able to pull off a cannon rush successfully, but this might just be the first.
I really love that they did this. I mean, Goki, he went for the 14, or that's 14, he went for the CC first, and I mean, he did it again. That was a very risky move by him, to be honest, and it's his Archon partner is certainly feeling it now.
He's really trying to complete that bunker. He wants to be able to push this back. He can certainly repair, but those cannons are going to take their toll. So first one will probably go down. The second cannon probably won't do enough for this, and I think just maybe with that bunker, they will hold on.
I think so. I mean, as you said, there's so much money in Legacy of the Void in the early game right now that it's effective for both sides. You have more CDs to pull on the defending side. You have more folks and overcharge on the attacking side, and eventually you're going to get to a decent amount of production with all the racks coming down. So the bunker finishes, it can still reach that one cannon, and the cannon rush is stopped. Now, what it did was it canceled the command center. It did kill a couple of SCVs, but still actually not enough, 18 to 17.
So this doesn't win the game, but as pointed out, like, the worker count's not too bad at home. They're going for a Stargate. It's actually looking pretty good for Protoss, despite the quote-unquote failed cannon rush. I mean, we don't have the graphs or anything to show you guys, but there was a significant resource drop from the SCVs being pulled.
That is certainly true. Yeah, we still have Goki and Sakura Chio able to get a command center, so I actually feel a lot better for the Terran. The only scary thing right now would be a double attack from the Protoss, so they can't go in with just an Oracle, as they do have a Stargate, or they definitely did have a Stargate.
They cancel it?
That was definitely currently building, right?
Yes, it was. You're not
Okay, so
crazy. I was going to start talking about the Oracle once you were finished. So this is a very interesting choice. As they start slamming down more gateways, I mean, this isn't a situation where we're going to see a bunch of expansions going down.
I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure if they scouted the Stargate and they just canceled and replaced it with a gateway. The vision's a little odd right here, but anyway. So I was going to say the Oracle could go into the one and the Adept on the other side, and you would split apart a very low number of Marines. Just a direct gateway.
Oh my god,
push.
do you think this could be DTs?
It might. Like if it's blink, it's way too late by the time it's finished.
So what I like about the idea is if this is going to be directional towards DTs, you've canceled the second command center. There's not going to be a lot of scans off of what is potentially one, but they just scouted with the Adept that there is a command center almost finished at the ramp.
Yeah,
so what direction is this going? Is it a Dark Shrine? Is it Blink? It's going to be Blink.
Blink is going to take so long to finish, even with all Chrono Boost on it, which is actually not all Chrono Boost. They realized that Warp Gate wasn't done. This actually should be a very easy hold for Terran, and that would actually be a 4-0 for UC Berkeley.
One of the really hardest aspects to hold Blink is when you've got a main that's so big you can't be in every location at the same time.
Yep.
Invader's small. This actually caters towards the defense of the Terran in this.
Usually it's a big pain in the butt, like fitting all your commands or your barracks and factories and whatnot, but in this situation it is better. I really like the cannon rush. I thought was a great idea, but they weren't actually able to successfully complete it, and I feel like they're definitely backpedaling. They're probably really I don't know if we're going for DTs or no, go for Blink. Okay, well, we want to expand. I got money to spend, and you might as well take like a hidden base, and they are going to go for DTs too. So
I feel like Tesla and Cinder Wall right now are both just kind of trying to embrace every aspect of Protoss that people hate.
Just Protoss it up.
It's like, oh, you can expand like crazy. Oh, it's like a Sea the Void. Oh, you go DTs. It's like a Sea the Void.
Like they went Cannon Rush into an Oracle, into Blink, into DTs. If they could fit like a War Prism in there, that would probably be the worst. But of course, there's only so much you can actually fit. I'm surprised they're getting this much tech. So of course,
are they pulling the Pro? No, transferring. That's right.
Yeah, Goki and Sakurachio, of course they scan and they're prepared for an attack. I mean, probably in the next 30 seconds they'll realize that I don't think he's attacking anymore.
This isn't such a bad thing though, because as they prepare for a defense, suddenly they'll be able to mount an offense. Like you're gonna have a lot of Marines, a lot of Marauders. They are transferring in a very strange pathfinding way.
AI.
Yeah, that was. Thank you, StarCraft.
Amazing. So anyway, as long as our Terrans take it kind of slow and steady, this should be a win for them. Now, I can actually see a situation where they are scared. Protoss has a lot of tricks sometimes, even in Legacy of the Void. And especially the ETs, you want to get damage initially too. They could be scared this entire time, never scout a gold base, get like another hidden base somewhere, and this could go to a long game. But that would be a very funky game, and I don't think it's how it's going to go. Let's see what the DTs can do. It's actually pushing out. There's no missile turrets.
No, but there's a little bit of scan energy, but I think they're about to mule.
Oh, there's one missile turret. Oh, that's right, because they scouted the Stargate. Maybe, actually. I'm still not sure about that one.
Well, either way, the DTs are en route. We got a bunker. We got some SCVs. We got about 2 scans banked up. We'll see if this is going to be mules. Please don't be mules. Oh, it's mules, zombie group.
I was going to say, 2 mines. They can both be thinking of ways to come back.
No, they muled again. No, they scanned. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. So one DT does make it to the main, but there's detection. There's the turret. He's going to clean this up, or excuse me, they are going to clean this up with relative ease. So this isn't so bad. Again, our Terran players are going to be in a fantastic spot, stopping not 1, not 2, but 3, what feels like cheeses now.
Yeah, it's been a lot. I mean, the Blink Stalkers never really did very much, but they are at least available right now. So we might see a bit of a hold. You can warp in 1 DT at a time, force out a bunch of scans, be really obnoxious, but eventually Protoss should just be broken.
So this is kind of cool the way that gold base is going to work. I mean, if Goki and Sakura here think that they're way far ahead, they might play cocky, they might make mistakes, not realizing there's actually a gold base worth of income behind this.
Yeah. Oh,
well, there's your first mistake. Oh,
they got 2 Marines out. All right, so that's a nice pick off. They have another drop going into the main, it looks like, though. And the point is, these drops aren't even really necessary. I'm actually surprised they're attempting them.
If you're thinking your opponent's on 1 base, I can kind of get behind that idea. But yeah, this is. I'd just go for the macro and go for one of the big push.
So I don't know. Either way, as long as they don't really lose
that overcharge. Okay, there we go.
As long as they don't lose 6 drops worth, I think they're fine.
Well, killing any probes is going to be nice. Again, they might be thinking it's worth getting dedicated for this because hey, these are all the probes. They got no other income. This isn't so good. But medevac goes down. Marine drop is not that great. And You know what, Zombie? Suddenly the Protoss are back in this game.
I don't know about that. I mean, the gold base is working right now, of course, but eventually that adrenaline rush will wear off, and Goki and Sakura Chio, again, like as long as they're playing pretty safe, relatively safe, they'll get eventually to their own third base, and they should be alright, but if they make any more mistakes like that, I could definitely see it swinging back in the favor of Protoss.
Now we got a tank loaded up with this one. The DT on hold position. We'll see this, but yeah, not helping out too much. Some attacks going to be starting off here on the bottom side. Of course, watching out for those stalkers, looking to blink forward, pick off medevacs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that many medevacs in play. It's just 2 right now.
Yeah, of course, the other 2 going down was pretty brutal for the medevac count, but we got an upgrade for the Terran. I think that actually Protoss is up +1 just finished as well. Armor's not going to be effective for this, but it is bio with stim against, you know, just regular gateway units, which they can be effective. In fact, like most of Legacy of the Void is a lot about gateway units, but they're not in mass, they're not that well upgraded. I don't think they're going to be able to beat Tesla and Centaur Wall down right now, but they're certainly going to add a lot of pressure.
I like that time warp once again, not too bad.
Yeah.
Tank just shelling away the pylon. There's still no Nexus over here, so again, deceiving to look at this. But that Archon, those 2 Archons should be able to push this back.
Yeah, I think with the Archons, it'd actually be pretty good. So they're actually going to just, you know, ditch. Like
yeah,
say,
scoop
okay,
up the tanks,
can't
and
deal
back
with this
away.
anymore. Now with the new Warpins, not with the Archons as well. This is also, should be the point where they're kind of wondering how do they have so much stuff.
Absolutely. How do you have that much money to have an army of this magnitude? And that's when you realize, like, oh, they've gotten away with a hidden base this entire time. That's the one occasion, by the way, if a drop had accidentally flown over it, that would have been game-ending damage.
Yeah,
but they've gotten away with this for so long up to this point.
Actually, there is not much to defend at all right now. They might have
Tank goes down. Oh, no, gets picked up. Nice pickups there out of Goki and Sakura Chio, but Berkeley here is in a lot of trouble for this game. I think it's been tipped just a slightly bit too much in the other favor, and as stated, Tesla and Center One not looking too bad as it took 3-4 cheeses. They finally get on top of this army. Stalkers in the front lines. Archons eradicating everything. What is going on here?
The Archon, I really wish they would target that Archon down. Where is their production, though? Like, they've been on these exact same units for like 30 seconds now. Are they bulking it back in the main? No, I think they just had a lapse.
Where is their money? That's the better question.
Yeah, they just had a lapse, I guess, from too many scans, not enough SCVs. Like, they actually do not have very good production.
Liberators, though, start churning the tides, and while I thought this may have been what was closing in on the end, they found the base on the middle left side. It's going to be a small couple of drops, but it's not getting a whole hell of a lot done. Does reveal, though, the situation at hand.
There's an SCV right there, okay. So I said, like, they did try and take another hidden base, which I really like. Of course, now that kind of, it's like, you know, the game's up, but I don't know if they actually have enough to deal with these extra bases. They just lost a lot of their army. They lost actually a lot of SCVs as well. Now they have triple SCV production, so they're starting to catch up again, but it is against 2 gold bases now.
Yeah, I mean, we look at the army supplies. It's still down for Terran, which is scary. There's no EMPs, but Liberators are going to be real godsends here. There's Blink Stalkers, but there's not enough Blink Stalkers to just jump through and kill all the Liberators.
I cannot believe that Protoss is actually doing so well here, and a lot is because like the money wasn't as I anticipated, and the production, of course, because of it, wasn't as anticipated as well.
I really feel like our Berkeley team got cocky. They thought, oh, we're so far ahead, we don't have to worry about like scouting, we don't have to worry about many of these other things, and that's really been what's been just keeping them back. But now they know the situation, they're playing a little more careful. These drops, not so crazy. There's Templar in play, there's Liberators set up. They were trying to expand to their natural, but they really need a third.
Now I do understand. Like I would love for mass drops, in fact, to go down. Like actually, both Archon players getting like 1 or even 2 medevacs going, because their entire armies on the left side of the map right now. Their main, I believe, is only defended by a mothership core, and even then, I'm actually questioning that. I think I saw it around the natural. This would be a great opportunity to really go drop heavy, but unfortunately, they have transitioned into making Liberators, so their medevac count, any medevac they lose is going to be very dangerous. They're going to have them just actually, they keep on sending drops out. They just won't have any medevacs at all for the home.
Well, the gold base is kind of mining out, so it's weird to consider that the income is still going to be somewhat matched for a small amount of time. But the 3 base situation is definitely so much better to work off of. And it's so scary. Again, you've got these medevacs almost getting picked off every time they try and go anywhere. Blink Stalkers on their butts. We got +3 weapons finishing up, by the way, so 3 to 1-1. Not going to be looking too good for Terran. Either or.
Of course, Storm is a big reveal right there. I mean, not that they can really do anything about it, though. Like, their money has been going into Liberators.
They can't afford Ghosts, yeah.
Yeah, Ghosts would be quite a stretch for them to afford. They are getting to their 3rd base, and they can probably get to a 4th, actually, as their main is mined out. This is a lot scrappier than the Terrans were probably anticipating, certainly than I was anticipating. They're actually down in every way. They've cut up pretty much an economy with mules, but that army supply being down by 10, the upgrades being down.
Here comes those Liberators, so in 3 tanks in a great spot. Zealot's going to get on top of them, but the Liberators going to try and protect them as this medevac just scoops and shuffles them back one at a time. Zealots are finally melting. With those going down, this Archons won't be a problem to deal with.
The drop's doing some work, this up's doing some work as well, but I was going to bring up that their composition is also a problem for our Terran players. Like, they don't actually have that much to deal with Charge Lot, Archon, Storm. Of course, Ghosts are the most obvious answer, but we said it, you know, they can't afford them. But also, like, an overwhelming amount of bio could have also done it, but, you know, that's not the case. Word of Mines would be helpful here as well instead of tanks, so I actually hope they stop producing tanks.
Yeah, actually, that's funny, because it was once upon a time. If you're worried about Charge Lot, Archon, it wasn't Liberators, it was Widow Mines that stopped that strategy. So something to consider, food for thought. But while this goes on, it's important to note that Terran is finally taking their third. They really were behind. They've been like one base to one base to one base, just hopping around the galaxy. One kind of like was a Battlestar Galactica, you know, just constantly moving the whole fleet.
Yeah, exactly. And it's actually going to be very difficult for them to hold there. Now, they can start making maybe a bit of SimCity.
Oh, that Storm. Not too great, but also could have been much worse.
Yeah, I saw the idea there, and it was a really good idea. Luckily for the Terran players, the SCDs did stack up kind of like idiots, so that worked out in their favor. But they finally recognized that the upgrades are falling behind. They have an army on the way, but that's also going to be maybe a little bit difficult to afford. A single DT, 2 DTs now, being very obnoxious, as of course they do not have scans. That's all the mules they just sent down.
Yeah, I mean, they might as well just mine. There's no point pulling them away. Stalker's going to flank from the right side, though. Goku against Sakurachio. They're in a lot of trouble. This is their whole army falling apart right here, right now. Last Liberators falls. This is, yeah, you're right. Not just even because of the army. This is the mining they needed to even build an army.
I actually cannot believe how, it also looks like super convincing, too, towards the end here. They've done it. They've brought it back for Temple. And, I mean, that's a really important change after all. It was potentially the last game. Momentum hopefully shifts back into their favor as well. But we also got to go back to that point we made at the start of the 2v2, where sometimes a team's weakness is these double, the Archon and the 2v2s. GG's called. Congratulations to Temple.
They are not going to go down without a fight.
But now we are back to the 1v1s, and that's where Berkeley got a lot of their wins already, and it's Suppy.
It's Suppy. He's a heavy hitter. He's going to be coming up against Sam Crow?
Yep.
Sam Crow. I do imagine we're probably going to be heading to a break. We're just going to wait for the confirmation before we do it, so we'll probably have to swap up those PCs again. Make sure nothing's in French or Swedish.
Yeah, or whatever it was.
All that good stuff. So, I guess thank you guys for watching, and don't go anywhere. We got Temple on the upswing, but they are still on very much on their last lives. So, yeah, we'll be back with more of the finals soonish.
Yeah.
what's to come. Just hold me close tonight. It holds colder, a hidden door, it's something more. If we get one chance to live this life, why are we still killing time? Why are we still killing time? Why are we still killing time? Why are we, why are we, why are we, why are we still killing time? Say the words, even if it hurts. We've been pretending nothing's wrong far too long. Say it out loud, like you really mean it now. 'Cause this is the last time. We're at the crossroad, and I can't let it go. I try to make you stay, but you're already far away. We're at the crossroad, and all
All right, we're back, guys. It's still the finals. It's still the same best of 7. I know it's been going on for a little bit of time. We actually, though, thought that this may have been over by now. However, Temple has come back swinging with some Protoss Archon mode dominance.
Yeah, it was a Protoss BS, but whatever. So we are just waiting on Suppy to get back in here, and I'm going to lobby for Dusk Towers.
Well, the context here for Suppy is he just finished his DreamHack match versus Bly. We have no idea if he won or if he lost, but he is on the way over. So Sam Crow, definitely, I think, less favorite of the two going into this. We'll see what he has. It is going to be a ZVT, which will be interesting.
Yeah. So, of course, Suppy is the heavy hitter here. He's the one that everyone basically believes is going to win. Sam Crow, I'm guessing, is also kind of like, but sometimes it's odd. Like, if you assume you're going to lose to an opponent, you're actually like more relaxed, you're chill.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty important game, so I don't think he's ever going to be that relaxed, but he actually might be, I don't know, calm enough to actually do something against Suppy. The Temple guy said that he has a build, and that's all he said, so I don't...
I heard what the build was. We'll talk about it once we get in the game, of course. We don't want to give too much away too soon, but Suppy on Dust Towers, I think that he is a macro machine. Yo, the best part is, I know they're kind of like less known. Xenocider as well, Suppy, they've been streaming again lately, which is awesome. Yeah. I love watching those guys play. And Suppy's macro's been looking really good. That guy gets the Ultras, he's a pretty scary force to deal with. You get a map like Dust Towers. If Samcro can't win this, I think in the mid game or the early game, he probably isn't going to win in the late game.
I would agree with that for sure. Dust Towers is a nice, simple, like it is the most basic map available in the map pool right now.
Yeah, it is the pumpkin spice of the map pool.
Wow, pumpkin spice is delicious.
And
as a white girl.
Super basic white girl. White hair for the white girl as well. Now, how's that going for you? Enjoying it so far?
Yeah. I think I look cool. I'm actually surprised how quickly I got over it. Like when it was blonde, I was like, but now I'm like, okay, whatever.
No thank you, sir.
We're finally getting to the game actually. It just started, so going to the Dust Towers.
Okay,
and I still have the wrong overlay. That's my fault.
Well, that's fine. We're still going to be able to cast. We're going to get into the intros here pretty quick. Spawning in the bottom left side, playing for Berkeley. Their team is up 3-1. Still, one win away from locking down these finals. It's going to be none other than Evil Genius's Suppy.
And not too surprised to see a bunch of SCVs go to that base, but in the top right, as the red Terran, it is Samcro.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of insight going into this. Samcro apparently going to be attempting the 3 racks here. Now, my question really is it just Marines? Is it going to be attempted Reapers? We don't see a gas coming down, so this already makes me worried because we have yet to see, in TVZ at least, a single proxy 3 racks work. Yeah. TVP, there was that one game with Lily Canine versus Balmu, but that's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, unfortunately, and it was also like usually we see this on Arena, which actually is in the map pool for the Ace map, but I was going to say that, it's a short distance, you can actually wall off, there's a couple of tricks you can do on Arena. On Dust Towers, really there's no tricks, so you're just hoping the 3 racks will work against a player.
Does Suppy play really greedy? That's another big question to ask. He took his natural at the 3rd. A lot of the times this means you're not actually waiting to you'll take your 3rd later, safer at the actual natural. So I like that we don't see necessarily a fast 3-hatch build. We got gas, we got pool. Suppy should have units to deal with this.
Yes, now unfortunately you're not really, we saw earlier in the series on Prion Terraces there was a drone scout, because that's a very popular map for, Reapers specifically. You're not really going to have the drone scout, ever want a drone scout really, especially on a basic map like Dust Towers. So he is going to know at the very last possible second, probably. As overlords haven't seen anything, of course, either. So he won't have a lot of lings as he would have, preferred, but he is still going to have that pool. He came out there with his gas. He's going to be able to build extra queens. I mean, it's not like game over just because he went for 3 racks, and we're painting a very bleak picture for the 3 racks.
It is difficult to pull off, though. This is going to be very impressive at a Samcro. Because again, just reminded, this is not quite bottom of the 9th, bases loaded, but you are in a situation where if you lose, your team doesn't even have a chance to play. We had talked with some of their players, by the way. They had strategically tried to schedule their losses. Tesla kind of telling us how it was very important that he won that first game for their strategy to work. But
well,
he's gonna pull the boys with it.
Yes,
he's gonna pull the boys. We haven't seen bit by bit in a while, but he's come back in the form of Samcro.
Carrying minerals. Oh, I love this ling split here. Now where that 3rd ling is off to the left is usually where you would see Rax's proxied.
Suppy's he's got to catch drone production. He sees the SCVs being pulled. This is so fishy. This is so red hair. Why would you do this?
Yeah, of course. So he does start extra queens. Just got to spend as much money as possible. He's going to make a lot of lings. He can actually lose a number. In fact, he might be able to lose a hatchery, I would say. But of course, you don't want to spend time with a hatchery. You want to go kill the Zerg.
Yeah, Samcro actually going towards the main first is the better option in my opinion. That natural is not a priority target. Ling's going to try and come out and defend this, but there's going to have to be a counter drone pull. Worker versus worker here in the finals. Surrounding the Marines, trying to get them in the back line. Queens have fallen, but there's so many workers still in play for both players, but Suppy has way more workers.
Way more. So a lot of them are very low. A couple of Marines are still dealing
damage. My god, the SCV's holding with the lines
that was pretty good, but a queen popped out. More lings are on the way. A spine close about to finish. I think Suppy has done it. 16 drones to 3 SCVs.
I think Berkeley just did it. Their team is preemptively cheering. It is, of course, the finals dancing that queen. Suppy knows what's up. Good game gets called. Congratulations to Berkeley. I hope there's some camera that can cut to this team celebrating, and if not, just know that there's a lot of very happy college kids who just won this season of CSL.
Yeah, they are actually like mosh pitting right now. So congratulations to Suppy. Again, the 3 racks. You know, it was such an old standard to go for 2 racks. You know, it was actually very good. Once upon a time, but not in Legacy of the Void.
It's troublesome too. If you're a player, you know you can't beat Sup. You're like, I can never beat him in macro. I say going for a move like that's not a bad choice. I would have loved to see him break something more like along the lines of Rough though, like +1 Reapers and things like that. But
yeah, I agree. The 3 racks is also, speaking of basic maps, pretty basic cheese that has been mostly figured out by now. So seeing something different, even Reapers are more effective. You need to have a 2 rack Reaper instead of a 3 rack, something like that. But it is what it is. Suppy was, of course, the one that everyone figures is going to win. It actually happened. Berkeley takes the entire series 4-1. It's always pretty close to my guess. I said 4-2. And yeah, I mean, congratulations to them. It's been an awesome season of the CSL. It's lasted quite a while when you include the preseason as well, which happened before, Christmas. Damn, it's been a long time.
Well, thank goodness we're going to get some winners interviews going on. Looks like I think Danny is Cheesehead Logic, as some of you may know him, going to be getting some talks out with the team here in a moment. We got the good game handshakes currently going down as these players are not all sad to lose. I mean, Temple still made it to the finals, and that was damn impressive. Out of all the universities and colleges that played, tons of players in the CSL. But I don't know, Dan, do we hand this off to you here, or how's this going to work? All right. We're going to send off to them interviews then, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining us. I was Rifkin.
And I'm Zombie Grub.
And good night.
Bye-bye from us.
Whenever you're calling, baby, you know I turn around. Whatever is calling, baby, you know I turn around. Baby, you know I turn around.
Alan. So passionate about talking about strategy. So passionate.
Let's get to the end because he was a pro player. We gotta finish it. We gotta close out. Yeah, let's go. Alan. Yes. Oh, we got a banner. Oh, we got a banner. Where are we putting this? Probably going to Isa. Yeah.
All right. There we go, guys. Welcome back, guys. As you see, we're trying to request one remaining player right through the camera shot and all. He gets to do that. He's won it 4 times. We basically allow it. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Collegiate Star League. It is Friday night. We are just about done. We have one remaining thing to do, and that's interview both of our winners and runners-up. Hopefully you enjoyed a hell of a series. So, all right, all you flag bearers, get the hell over here. All right. First of all, our 4-year winners, get up here.
Got it.
Oh, I wonder who it could be. All right. Mr. Evil Geniuses, Mr. UC Berkeley. All right, Suppy. All right, Absence, come on over.
Yes.
That's how I know you, man. Yeah. I've been here too long, man.
Not after tonight. Wait, what? They don't have enough? Dude, I gotta go.
All right, whoever we're gonna send for.
You're not going to don't sleep. No, dude.
All right.
I gotta focus.
All right, we got one more. Uno Mas.
I'm so sad I didn't get
Who wants the remaining medal?
Alright.
There we go.
Wait, I'll share with Fred. Fred, come over here.
I don't get it. We'll drop more of them. All right, come on over, guys. Yeah, we're not going to fit 2 heads in there. All right, come on over to the mic, guys.
Hey.
Coming over to the mic, all of you, huddle up. Come on through, get in the shot. Don't let my big butt stand in the way. All right, guys. I'm standing with our 2015-2016 StarCraft 2 champions, UC Berkeley, once again on top of the world. All right. Obviously, first initial reactions, guys. Another title, another win. How does it feel?
Feels good, man. Doesn't feel bad, man.
Doesn't feel bad. Well, you guys that were not named Conan, aka Suppy, that lived through a majority of the series, how did it feel going up early 3-1 and getting that early control in the series?
1, 2, 3. Feels good, man.
Keeping it simple, keeping it simple. Suppy, you were obviously playing over in the DreamHack open area. Result, obviously, you took down Bly, you lost to Bly 2-3. How does it feel to come right on over and just basically carry the team to that final victory?
I didn't carry them, man. They all played great. They all held their own, you know. And I think we're going to do great next year. And look for Berkeley to take another title.
Now the big question is, are you and Alan going to be back next year?
I will not be back next year, but I will be back in spirit. I will be cheering on.
In spirit. We'll be watching, maybe in person.
Would you guys consider coaching the program if asked for help?
They might be better than me by then. Because I'll be pretty busy, so they might be better than me by then. But we'll see. If they ask for help, I'll definitely help.
If they ever need some like low master advice, I got
Low master 2v2.
Yeah, low master 2v2, platinum 44 random. I got you guys covered.
Great. Well, all right. Conan, congratulations on 4 title wins. Absence, I'm actually not. It's 3. Is it 3 for you?
Same as Conan.
I have 3. He has 2.
I think you have 4. You have 4 because there was a spring championship too as well.
Oh yeah, we have 3. We both have 3.
So we both have 3.
But one of them was for Brewer, I think.
One of them for Brewer. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So we both have 3. Berkeley has 4.
Berkeley has 4 total. That's right. All right. Well, you guys are basically how's the experience been over the years in development of StarCraft 2? Obviously, some other games and obviously live commitments have kind of pulled you here and there over these past couple of years. Has the practice been much different? Has it been hard keeping that commitment or just retaining?
What do you think?
As coordinator, I think the hardest part is keeping these people up at Saturday at 11. And
waking up.
Waking up.
You hear that?
11:30.
Real struggles waking up on a Saturday.
Fred woke up at like 11:50. We were like, you can't sleep more than 12 hours. That's messed up.
Can't sleep more than 12 hours. You heard it here. All right.
I think we really started coming together towards the start of the playoffs, and especially this past weekend.
It's been a roller coaster throughout like the last 4 years though, of like practicing super hard for Azumi, like everyone, and then like we like win, and then we kind of get like that, oh, we're too good, we tried so hard, we stopped practicing so much, declined for a few years. Conan gets a girlfriend.
You got a girlfriend too?
I got a girlfriend, changed my name from Abstinence to something else. But come back for one last win. Senior year. That's how
we're running a special episode of Unfiltered here. Shout out to Chan, man. All right. Well, Abstinence, Suppy, I'm going to let you guys actually kind of slide out of the window. Enjoy your victory. I want to talk to the remaining blood that's probably going to be here. So once again, hey, congratulations. I've seen you from the start, boys. It's been a lot of fun. All right. You 5, come on in. New blood.
More like 6. More like 6.
More like 6. Sorry, new blood. All right. Plans for next year? Are you guys all coming back?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Now, obviously, a little bit of uncertainty with StarCraft 2. That's the one game for the future. That's uncertainty. There's a lot of other games that Blizzard's putting out, like Overwatch, obviously expansions for Hearthstone. Maybe some of you guys are into World of Warcraft. Is StarCraft going to be one of those things that's always going to be kind of like part of your heart, something that you will always consider kind of playing just because of maybe some natural ability, just being able to get back on that bike, and obviously the individual factor to the game? Is it something that you guys, think you're going to be playing?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Without a doubt.
You don't get the same rush from Hearthstone. It's like, I don't know.
I mean, the thing is too, like, coming here, you see so many people like here for StarCraft. People don't see that usually. They don't like see like the whole event, the venue, the people here, and it's like such a great community. Like so close and tight, and like like, but still like thriving. So yeah,
Which is
definitely not
nice.
dead game.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely not dead game. There you go. There you go. There you go. Reddit, eat that one. All right. So in terms of, I don't want to say rebuilding the program, obviously losing guys like Absent and Suppia takes away, you know, good talent and veteran talent as well. Are there any plans to try to recruit, bring any players in? I mean, obviously you guys have one of the best esports programs in the nation, so I don't think it's going to be too hard to exactly find people, but are you guys going to be like looking at scouring the ladder, trying to find anybody
We
you
have
can?
some GMs coming in next year.
That was supposed to be top secret.
Nick here will be a sophomore, so hopefully he'll get his own room and not be sextiled during our matches.
We're hoping to bring some like bronze and then make them to GMs. And then, you know, make some new stars going on. That's our plan.
But we should be just as strong next year as we are this year.
Oh, we're running it next year.
Yeah.
So next year, that'll be the next question. So next year's plans, make it to finals?
Oh, winning.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
Get the fifth title.
Suppy list.
Suppy list.
Sucky list. Ooh, I don't know. It shivers down here now. I don't know if I can live through that. All right, guys. Well, obviously it's getting pretty late here, so I want to give you guys your time on the mic. Any shout-outs, any thanks you guys want to give to anybody, step on forward.
Shout out to my fangirls and Kyle Seismic.
Shout out to Asus. Yeah.
Shout out to Digit Crew back home on Discord and Skype. You guys rule.
Shout out to my roommates for saying dead games.
Shout out to esports at Berkeley.
Shout out to my mom and dad, and shout out to my friend James.
And shout out to Temple. They're really great people.
Yeah. Oh, and shout out to
Zach.
Primus.
Yeah.
And esports at Berkeley.
Shout out to Aces, by the way.
And Asus.
Aces.
Yeah, that's what.
This team is sponsored by Aces.
Oh my god.
Great.
Yeah, feature sponsors too.
Things I'm learning from this year, we need like that Oscar playoff music. Just like
On that note.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you go. Enjoy your night. Enjoy being champions once again.
Appreciate
Take it easy, boys. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Awesome.
Have a great night. All right. Now, let's bring over our runners-up. Second place, Temple University. Slowly crawling on over. All right, there we go. We got one. Come on over. Come on over. Don't be shy. Now's not the time to be camera shy. Come on over, boys. All right.
Well, yay! Silver!
All right.
Yay, silver plat! Hey! We got the silver plat!
All right. Good stuff. Coming up a little further. We need to be right by the mic. Smells like that. Alright. Now let's try to huddle around the mic a little bit so we get a shot of everybody. So come on up. Alright, joining me right now is our runners up for the StarCraft 2 finals. We have Temple University. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I've been around with StarCraft 2 and the CSL and just general for a long time. A UC Berkeley finalist is no shocker. A Temple is not a common run that we generally see in the CSL. Outside of the initial feelings, which we'll talk about a little bit later, can you explain this year's run and like what happened to make like you guys come together, practice, and get here? Like what did it take?
As far as I'm aware, like we haven't had a team for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
So it came, like Rob and I are freshmen, and you're sophomore, right?
I'm a freshman. You're a freshman?
Yeah.
Freshman.
Yeah. So like it's a very young team. None of us have played in a CSL match before. Like most people didn't even like know what was going on. I sort of came into college with the idea that I wanted to make this happen, and then I reached around and I found out that I had another GM player living 3 floors below me, which ended up being pretty cool. And so we sort of built the team off of that, and we gradually got more and more people. I knew Taylor played because he drove me to Cheesadelphia, but he couldn't play initially because he had too much schoolwork, but then he managed to step in for the playoffs, which is really cool. And so we just built a team from nothing, basically. We had a lot of talent coming in this year, and some existing talent that we just utilized.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I was gonna
say like a lot of initiative from Ray's here. He was really the one who really got everything together. He was the one who kicked everybody in the butt to join.
wake up.
Yeah.
And
I was interested in CSL, but he's the one who actually
he's the one, like,
together.
we say coordinator. He really was the coordinator. He was the one that got everybody together, and this wouldn't have happened without him. So
Yeah.
good job, buddy.
Sadly, he couldn't play a game.
Yeah, he couldn't show off what he knew.
Shout outs to DreamHack, whoever turned that screeching sound off.
Yeah.
Applause. All right.
DreamHack
I know, right?
for the opportunity.
I know, right? Well, in terms of like a team comp, obviously some teams have had like strict practice regimens. Others, you guys have been speaking about trying to wake up. What have you guys done to like?
It's only my problem.
It's only your problem.
Yeah.
Well, what have you guys done this year to prepare, like in terms of like practice to get here? Because you guys are going to be sort of that role model school for following teams that are going to be trying to make teams together and have that dream of making it to a CSL finals. Could you give a little advice, like elaborate a little bit on what it took, like in terms of practice?
A lot of it was individual based. Like Rob and I, before coming into this, were like basically at almost our current level. We were both like high ranked players that played a ton of games, and like Centaur has gotten GM in the past and just hasn't played all that much recently. So it's like with the three of us, we try to organize the other people, and like I would come up with sort of builds that I would want people to try. I would like pick the matchups that I thought would be best for the players, stuff like that, and then sort of strategize as a team what we wanted to do. So it we had pretty good team chemistry. I don't think we really like had fights or anything. It was just trying to get a little bit of a struggle to get everyone to come together all the time, and we ended up having a guy that couldn't make it out here, which was a shame. But like came down to sort of us all working individually well together. So, I mean, I'm not sure this is really like a model more so that can be applied to other schools, because it's a rare instance where we had a lot of talent coming in at the same time. So, I mean, we could have practiced a lot more. We didn't really play together all that much.
I mean, hey, not always the case with StarCraft 2 players. Just generally, a lot of it obviously comes down to individual play, sometimes individual talent. But all right, now speaking of today, second place overall, and not just today, but we're talking second place on a season scale. From a reflective standpoint, how does that actually feel? Like,
I mean, it feels pretty good. Like, I think going into this, Rob and I knew that there was a chance we could get this far. Like, if everything went together correctly, if we could find the right players, if we could get the right matchups, stuff like that. We knew, like, from the beginning that there was a slight chance that we could win, but it wasn't really something that you're, like, expecting from the get-go. It took, like, basically we sort of struggled through the normal season. We felt pretty confident that we could get to playoffs because, like, all you had to do was be top 4 in our group, which didn't turn out to be like that hard. Like we slid in at spot number 4, but we were still like
we still felt like we had it not in the bag, but it was definitely like.
And then once we got to the playoffs, first round was against last season's champion, Washington, which was, I mean, that match I think really characterizes what we are as a team, because that was a match where like there was so many small things that went wrong today that like went right then, and it was like we 4-1'd them. Everything sort of fell into place. It wasn't like really miraculous or anything. It was just that like everything that was supposed to happen happened. So.
Gotcha. All right, now lineups wise, you're put in 6th spot. What was the decision making behind the late? Did you guys think you guys were going to be able to maybe sneak off a couple of wins?
Yeah,
I don't even want to say like
Okay.
sneak off, but did you guys feel like you guys were going to have a good, solid, at least couple wins to go into?
Yeah. So basically, the plan was like, since All In to Win couldn't come, which is our 2's player. Our 2's usually is really good.
Yeah.
Like, but the thing is, he couldn't come, and I was basically supposed to win the first game versus Goki, and you could see me, like, I was visibly upset because like it was basically over at that point. We think because
for you it was over.
We weren't expecting the games were closer than I thought they were going to be, but I was expecting to lose the entire series from that point because I wanted to win versus Goki and then win the Archon versus Goki, and that would set him up for Game 6 to determine himself.
We were very confident in our Archon team, so we figured that if we could get one win before the Archon, then we would be able to make it 2 Rays and we'd be able to finish it off.
All right, one more question. I got one question for you. Come on up. Get a little closer.
Okay.
Now, back in Wings of Liberty, I used to be the resident cheeser in the CSL with my little patented bottom 3 racks bit by bit build. Right. Obviously, before Blizzard decided to add those stupid rocks at the bottom of those ramps. Where did the decision making come to channel that again? From a proxy standpoint.
That was Ray's idea.
Yeah.
Coordinator.
Yeah.
Okay, blame Ray's.
Based on the map and based on the player matchup and based on what I know of Suppy, I felt like that was our best chance to take a win there. And ended up barely not working out.
Like he actually it was actually a very good match for what Suppy did. He did play very greedy, hatch gas pull, but then he droned pretty hard. So if the execution was just maybe a little better, then it would have worked.
It was just but the Marines behind the SCs were fantastic.
If the Marines weren't touched, then it would have gone much different.
Hey, after thousands of ladder games, I know how that ball rolls. So execution's really important. All right, guys, not gonna hold you up any longer. It's late, like I mentioned to Berkeley. Any final words? The mic is yours before you guys head out.
I can say something.
Feel free.
We're not an official club yet, but we're hoping that maybe Temple University can give us more support next year. Because I mean, though we're not an official club, maybe some funding would be cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely shout out to ASUS. Shout out to ASUS for this awesome tournament and sponsoring the CSL and all that.
And shout out to Monster for keeping me awake. I was about to doze off until I got one of those great monsters.
Oh, delicious.
Thanks to ASUS for supporting.
They probably had more
StarCraft.
Monster, that's why they won.
Sports, we learn about PR media really well around here, so
I'm being serious.
It's not the first time.
Yeah, for all we're joking, this truly is an incredible opportunity. None of us would have been able to come to DreamHack otherwise.
Yeah.
It's really cool to be able to come out here, see everyone, see Austin
In
playing
fact,
this match.
we got lucky to even get here. Cause
well, yeah, Lucky did come like an hour.
yeah, he did. Damn. But like the series that actually got us here was a 4-3 series. So like we honestly like 2 games after
Very
that,
tense.
we didn't think we would even make it. So the fact that we're here is a miracle. So like it's good enough that we got second place.
I think we're okay with what we have,
Yeah,
but next year we're
content.
definitely going to be looking.
Yeah.
No, actually, I told you guys I was going to leave you the mic, but generally what I've been asking everybody right now, who is coming back next year?
No one's leaving.
Everyone.
Everybody.
Freshman.
Junior.
Sophomore. Grad student. We're fresh.
I'm like, grad student counts here in the CSL. Like, if you're a student, you're a student. Like,
Yes, sir.
If you're torturing yourself in classes, you can torture yourself in the CSL too. So,
Yes.
exactly. Well, guys, it's been really awesome to watch you guys all season long. Obviously, second place is nothing to hang your heads on, especially brand new program, brand new team. Really a rare feat, to be honest. So, hang your heads high, enjoy the rest of DreamHack, and I mean, hey, enjoy the summer, recruit, get better, and we hope to see you next year. All right?
Definitely.
All right, guys. Well played. Good stuff. Good stuff. Go to sleep. Get some sleep. Or
I cannot wait.
Should we get a team picture of us?
To the strip club.
Yeah.
Do you have your camera?
Yeah, I have my camera.
All right, you want to get it? Would you mind taking a picture of us?
we will in just a second. After we finish up. All right, guys. As you see, very impromptu interviews and everything else going on to close out the day. It's getting very late, so everybody's a little bit tired and a little bit on edge. So, to sort of recap the day and how it went, we had San Jose State sweep Poly de Montreal 2-0, so they're our first annual CSGO champions. Then we had UBC beat NYU 3-2 in a very tight series in Hearthstone as well for their first Hearthstone title. And as you saw today, another record-breaking feat for UC Berkeley with a 4th title and 3 for guys like Abstinence and Conan. And I mean, great stories all around for new coming teams like Temple and as well others that you've seen throughout the entire day. Before we close out the day, I want to give a big thank you to Brain Gear for the help and support and all those damn B vitamins that have helped energize, boost our minds, and kept us going all damn day long. As well as also ASUS for powering all of the games, all of our broadcast equipment, as well as also everything that's involved. Again, come tomorrow. If you haven't had a chance, we have 2 docks full of virtual reality gear. If you haven't checked that out, amazing stuff. You definitely want to come check that out. And then on top of that, Twitch TV, huge thank you for supporting the collegiate scene, supporting us all season, putting us up on that front page and everything else that they have done to help us out all year long. Now, tomorrow we're going to be up bright and early, 10 in the morning. It is all day Dota 2. Our top 4 teams, Cornell, Cal Poly, SLO, UBC, and Michigan, all going to be playing tomorrow. Sorry, so many teams, so little time. So we're going to have those 4 teams duking it out. We'll have Toffees, Gorgon on the mics, and it should be a fun full day of Dota 2. So be sure to be back at Twitch TV/C-Star League tomorrow, 10 in the morning. For any additional updates, feel free to follow us on Facebook.com/Collegiate Star League and on Twitter @CStarLeague.com. Have a good night, sleep tight, and we'll see you then.
next time.